their only excuse for their racist policies are ignorance. This person supports a racist policy.
You're going to leave after
and his
this.
only excuse is ignorance.
Okay. Well, actually, no. My only excuse would be something that you said insofar as explaining why it's not racist, that being that black women experience a higher poverty rate in this country. As soon as you read that one off of Google, you started to freak your shit. And then you went on to say, well, we need to ignore per capita statistics. We need to ignore these per capita rates, such as the fact that because black women are more likely to experience poverty in America, they're therefore more likely to experience financial instability, which perfectly explains why they'd be disproportionately more likely to access abortion, given the fact that most women who do are doing so because of financial instability. But it's funny because if you want to dispute the credibility of per capita statistics and arguing why one demographic compared to another would be more likely to experience poverty, your whole argument that access to abortion is racist is because of the per capita statistic that black women are more likely to access it. So in disputing the basis of using per capita statistics to argue a point and calling per capita statistics racist, you are in turn disputing your own point and calling yourself racist, as your argument that abortion is racist hinges on the position that per capita black women are more likely to access it.
Per capita is a red herring fallacy.
Okay.
Can you respond to that?
Then your own argument is a red herring fallacy because that's what it hinges on.
Your argument was per capita,
Your
not
argument,
mine.
yes, it is.
You're just doing a red herring fallacy.
When I say that per capita, black women are more likely to experience poverty, all that I'm saying is that black women are disproportionately more likely to experience it. Your argument was indeed that black women are more likely to access abortion. Therefore, you're saying per capita, they're more likely to access it.
Per capita is a red herring fallacy. Look it up for yourselves, everyone. He's a liar.
Define red herring.
His only excuse for supporting racist policy is ignorance, and it's willful ignorance.
Can you define red herring?
Red herring, it means that well, actually, can you? What's a red herring fallacy?
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
For sure.
I'll wait.
Yeah, if you can't define it.
Because I'm the one that pointed it out. If you don't think I looked it up first.
If you can't define it, I will define it for you. I just need you to admit humility. Feel free to turn back on your mic and admit defeat.
You just Googled it. That's the only thing. That's the difference. I actually was able to use the term correctly in calling out your fallacious argument. You had to Google it to confirm that I was correct.
Well, I mean, it really just seems like you're now just like displaying your...
Yeah, he's admitting it, guys. You see this?
All that I said is it just seems like you're displaying your suppositions and conspiratorial nonsense to like thousands of people, but I digress. You still haven't defined red herring.
Have you ever heard that that's because I'm the one who used red herring fallacy in the correct way. Can you please define it?
How do you know that you used it?
Still man my position.
How do you know that you...
Still man my position.
How do you know that you used it in the correct way when you don't even know what it is?
I do. I have it pulled up right in front of me.
Prove that. Prove that you know what it is by telling us what it is.
Go ahead. I'm waiting for you.
No, I didn't ask that question myself. I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to you.
So you're actually not going, it's a logical fallacy. Basically, you're trying to detract someone from their argument with a bad argument. It's like you're offering, it's a non-specific argument so you can pivot from my preliminary argument.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You're defining...
And that's in layman's term. Now you read it from Google and tell me I'm wrong.
So I just need to be able to like clarify that what you're saying here is what I think you're saying here.
You're using irrelevant information to distract from my argument.
I'm going to start counting all your interruptions with these Reese's miniature cups. I'm just going to start setting them on my keyboard, one for every interruption.
So read the definition.
Okay, there's another one. Wow. Okay, I'm going to be out of these. So I just want to be clear on like your definition of red herring. You told us that you think a red herring is a bad counter argument.
That's not what I said. You just straw man my definition.
What's a straw man?
Straw man is when you use my point, but you're not repeating it correctly.
Dude, okay. So what I'm going to need you to do is if you want to be able to use these like terms like red herring, straw man, so on and so forth.
So read the definition and prove me wrong.
I can't even like set these on here. Sir.
Look, guys, I just Googled it. It just popped up.
hey,
A
Jeremy.
red herring is either a misleading clue in a story,
Jeremy.
a logical fallacy that introduces irrelevant information. I said that word for word to distract from the main argument.
Okay.
Damn, is that what I said exactly? Holy fuck, guys.
No, it isn't exactly what you said. I'm gonna go to thank a handful of
Oh
people
no,
for their...
I just used layman's terms. I explained it in a simple way, which means that I actually understand the definition on a personal level.
Well, I think that
you don't.
I think that you described it in a wrong way. But before I respond to you, I'm actually going to go and thank a handful of people for their donations. Scarlett, thank you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. Let's get 500 Scarlett W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for the love, Scarlett. Scarlett with a 50 big one says, no way this guy's dodging so hard. He can't even hear himself. What a brainwashed and uneducated individual. It makes trying to love everyone equally so hard when some people legitimately have an IQ of 1 because they think it's the best. You know what, Scarlett? You ate down there. I want to see like 1,000 Scarlett W's down below. Thank you so much for the love. As well as Mike with a $5 on Venmo saying that Jeremy tried this with Ed Krasenstein and failed miserably. Tried to farm
I didn't
followers.
fail.
Hey, shut up, buddy. Shut up, buddy. I'm thanking my donors. Shut up, buddy. I'm thanking my own donors. I'm thanking my donors, Jeremy. I'm thanking my donors, Jeremy.
That I won the debate.
Wait, spell debate.
See, it's typical these leftists, man, they lie. I'm a true libertarian. These people are scumbags that ignorantly support racist policy.
Wait, actually,
and
real
it's
quick.
willful ignorance at that.
Jeremy, I just realized that my TikTok chat can't hear you. I need you to mute and unmute yourself and it'll fix the glitch.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself. I'm done here. This guy's dishonest.
Okay, actually, before you
Follow
leave,
me if you agree with what I said.
so before you
guys.
leave, I'm going to tell you exactly why using per capita statistics in response to your position is not dishonest. Okay, well, he didn't want to hear it. So that's what a big W in a debate looks like. Yeah, cooked you, Jeremy. Thank you so much for coming up here and getting cooked. It was really enjoyable and satisfying to be able to sit down and humble such an egotistical man-child. Jeremy, feel free to come back again sometime. We should do that again. Maybe we could set up another date. I found it to be very enjoyable, and I'd love you to return at some point, Jeremy. But of course we know he won't because he's too bruised, too hurt. His ego is in hell, quite frankly. I'm going to go and thank a handful of other people. Go ahead and give me a second here. Thank you so much, JB, for the $10 over on Super Chat, saying that he explained it in a simple way incorrectly. Yup. As well as Amanda. Thank you for the $10 on Venmo, saying my compliments to the chef. Love watching you cooking. Thank you so much, Amanda. As well as Andrea. Thank you for the $25 donation on Venmo. Thank you, Andrea, saying love what you do. That is very kind of you. Thank you. And then Colleen with a $50. Oh my God, you guys are being so kind today. Colleen with a $50 says you should probably just run for president. Thank you for the daily dose of help, Dean, from Colleen. Thank you, Colleen. That is Colleen. Please show some love to Colleen down below in that comment section while we are now looking for our next Trump supporter to come up here and have a conversation. Let's go and get Will P loaded into the stream. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate everyone so much for all the love. Let's go to get that next guest connected right now. What is up, Will? How old are you?
I'm 25.
25. Do you support Trump?
Yeah,
And
sure.
what time is it?
It's 3:42.
What state are you in?
New York.
And what's the capital of New York? And he left. I think he's Googling it. Goodbye. Hey, Annika, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal, saying I'm German and I watch your streams every night. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Annika. As well as, let's see here, Jason, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube. Jason, that is very kind of you. That is Jaysyn. Jason says, holy hell, this chucklehead is more ate up than a soup sandwich. Jeremy ran with his little tail tucked in between his legs and crying for mommy all the way up from the basement. Dude, y'all on YouTube are like wild. I gotta say, you guys on YouTube are like seriously wild. I love you so much. Thank you for the $20 and the awesome message. Okay, everyone continue to tell me to go to hud.gov. That's the Department of Housing and Urban Development. I mean, I don't understand what would be so exciting about their website. The radical left are going to shut down the government and inflict massive pain on the American people unless they get their $1.5 trillion wish list of demands. The Trump administration wants to keep the government open for the American people. October 1st until September 30th, 2026. They just need a majority in the House and a majority in the Senate. Right now, Republicans hold a majority in both. What does the left have to do with this at all? Like, if every Democrat in both the House and in the Senate voted against their funding bill, it would still pass. Oh, they actually might need 60 votes. I might be wrong in the Senate to increase the debt ceiling. So actually, I'm unsure on that last statement. Just crazy shit, man. What's up? How old are you?
I'm 57. I was born in 1968.
Don't believe you for a second. Get the hell out of here. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Okay, yeah, I might be wrong about that. They might need a little bit more than a majority to raise the debt ceiling if that's what they want to do. Mike Johnson closed the House to shut it down. Yeah, Mike Johnson has been a mess as of recently. What's up? How old are you?
19.
19. What year were you born in?
Why does that matter?
To confirm that you're 19, I'll give you
I'm
one last
obviously
chance.
19. Can I not sound 19? I don't think a 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old would sound like how I do.
Okay. Well, it doesn't
Genuine.
change the rules.
Like-
What year were you born in?
2005.
Okay. 1 month.
Why does it matter? I'm 19. Why does that matter? You trying to dox me or something?
Are you going to answer the question?
I did,
No, you didn't. I asked you what month.
for sure.
So what month were you born in? He left. Angry fetus alert. Why are you getting so mad and defensive at me for asking you clarifying questions in which make it clear that you're not actually 19 because you can't answer them?
No.
God, he needs a therapist. I feel like so many people on the right need a therapist. So many people in general need a therapist. Just somebody to talk to, you know? Everyone, if you're watching this live, go get a therapist. What's up? Do you support Trump? Oh, they left. Moving on to the next guest, guys. Only hop in that queue if you're an American adult that supports Trump as president. We'll happily get you loaded up into the stream. Hey, Robert, thank you for the $25 over on PayPal. Robert with the $25 says, great job staying calm with these unbearable, uninformed, and unhinged guests. Thank you for the love, Robert. You know, honestly, it's pretty easy for me to like not stay calm when like I'm having a bad day, but I'm having a pretty good day today, so I got it in me. As well as Zleeb Zolorb, thank you for the $10 super chat saying, hey, Dean, I'm a huge fan and I want to say that you've been cooking. Thank you so much for the love, Zleeb Zolorb. What a weird name, but thank you so much for your kindness. As well as Tilly, appreciate you for the $5. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Oh, age right now.
I'm 16.
All right, got to be at least 18 to be connected. Go ahead and put a Trump with your age down below in that comment section if you'd like to come up and have a conversation with me. We're going to try to get that next guest loaded up in here right now. We got a bunch of fetuses. Quite quickly. What is up, Bailey Jane? Do you support Trump? Well, Bailey Jane.
Hello?
Oh, hi, Bailey Jane. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Yep. Yes. Okay, how old are you?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. How
I'm
old are you?
19.
You're 19?
I'm 19.
And what year were you born in?
2006.
Okay, all right. Take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Okay, I'm sorry I lied. I'm sorry.
Okay, children, stay out of the queue. Do me a favor, stay out of the queue. Let's get that next guest up here. Hey, as well as Mary, dude. Thank you so much for the $38 on PayPal. Mary with the $38 on PayPal says it is my birthday. My birthday wish is that there were more people like you in our country. Keep cooking, Mary. Thank you so much for the $38. I want y'all to show some special love to Mary down below in that chat. And happy birthday, Mary. If you guys could all please spam happy birthday, Mary, down below. It'd mean a lot to me. I appreciate you for your support. And seriously, live it up. Have a good birthday. Thank you for being here. What's up, 360 Chicano? Do you support Trump?
Fuck Donald Trump.
Based but banned. All right, guys, we're going to stop pulling from the guest request for a second just because I honestly can't find too many people in it that are MAGA. If you're watching and you're MAGA, go ahead and put a me with your age in that comment section. I'm going to invite you up that way. We're just really just finding like children and liberals in the queue. I will try one last person from the queue. That's going to be David. We're going to try to get David up here, but if David doesn't load in and David is not a Trump supporter that's down to debate, I'm going to start pulling from the comment section. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, baby.
Okay. Don't call me baby, David.
Whoa.
How old are you?
I'm 21, bub.
You got some weird nicknames there. All right. Well, we're gonna give you the mic. We're gonna allow you to tell us why you support Trump. Now, before you do, I need to thank a couple people. Andrea, thank you for the $10 on Venmo saying, have you kept up with the Gaza flotilla? Yes, I have. Well, my friend Tommy is on it. I've been like texting him, making sure he's okay. Like every time the ships have been getting struck by Israel, it's actually been like, it's been kind of hard. I appreciate you for the love. As well as Christy, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Thank you, Christy, saying, seconding Dean for president, lawyer to DA to senator to president. You are a rising star. Maybe one day. I don't know. Thank you so much for the love, Christy. Let's get 200 Christy W's, as well as 250 Angelique W's for the $25 on Venmo, saying thank you for keeping me sane. Thank you so much, Angelique. Then Allie and Rachel, I appreciate you both for the $5. Haley, thank you so much for the $50. That is HAYLEE, saying keep up the good work. Thank you, Haley. You guys have all been seriously so fucking kind today. And then one last big one here. Holy fuck. Michelle with the $100 donation on Venmo. I do not deserve that. That is so kind of you. Jesus, Michelle. Michelle with $100, holy cow, says, I've been listening for a few weeks and wanted to thank you for being a beacon of clarity in today's chaos. Great debates have been driven by factual data and common sense. Your voice resonates. Have a great time tomorrow. You have earned a day off. Michelle, thank you so much for your kindness. I really appreciate your generosity. It is not something I deserve. And I really do appreciate you. If you could please show some love to Michelle down below in that comment section. I'd love the hell out of all of you for it. And go ahead and take it away, sir. Tell us why you support Trump as president.
I like Trump because I like his points of views on different things, with the border.
Okay.
And
Kind of sounds like you're underwater. Is there anything that you could do about that?
Okay,
Breaking news. Sorry, that's my video. Sounds like you're underwater.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, do you have like, now you're like just banging your microphone on something.
Yeah, I have a life-proof case, so it's kind of hard to hear me probably.
I can hear you fine now. Just don't move your phone. But yeah, anyway, so what do you agree with Trump on that makes you support him?
I just like his different point of views on different things.
What point of views on what things?
It's just various different things like no tax on no tax on tips, no taxes on overtime.
Yeah.
Different things like that. I'm blue collar, so I kind of swing to the right, and so you have your views, I have my views, so it's not like I hate anybody or anything like that, but.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and go through like everything that you just shared with us. So first and foremost, you said that you support things like no tax on tips or overtime. So I agree. Those are two provisions of the big beautiful bill that I like too. I think that they're kind of underwhelming. They're only deductions up to like $12,000 and they expire in 2 years. But the reason why you still shouldn't support them, even though on the surface level they're good, is when you like read the other 835 pages of the big beautiful bill, you see that the bill as a whole is incredibly harmful. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, it is actually effectively reducing the purchasing power of over half of Americans making at or under $51,000 per year, while increasing the purchasing power for everybody making over that dollar amount, and it increases your purchasing power more disproportionately the more money you make, right? So that on its own is enough to refute the idea that the big beautiful bill is good. But then when we comprise that with other facts, such as the fact that it is cutting 10 million people off of healthcare by defunding Medicaid by $900 billion, cutting 3 million people off of food stamps by defunding food stamps $156 billion, and on its own is the most expensive bill ever passed in this country's history, adding $4.5 trillion to the debt according to the Congressional Budget Office, right? It becomes very clear why it's not just a bad policy, but it is one of the worst policies signed into law in modern American history.
So, question, I know you kind of were going through that. Do you agree that there should be a term limit on Section 8 housing?
I guess I haven't like researched Section 8 housing, but without doing any research, my answer would be leaning no.
Why?
I think on the level, on like the surface level, without doing any research, the reason why my answer would be leaning no is because I know other social safety nets that I have researched, like food stamps, work as a great launch pad to get low-income Americans to go from being low-income Americans to scaling their income, their net worth, to be like middle-income or high-income Americans, as it gives them more of a support, which allows them to spend and invest more of their time beyond their immediate needs by going to school, getting getting a trade degree or interviewing at a firm that's more competitive where they may not get hired. That would make them able to earn more through their job. And I'd assume that those same facts are probably true of Section 8. And food stamps is working really well right now in helping give more economic mobility to low-income Americans without like a term limit limiting how long you could stay on it.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like there should be a term limit on Section 8 housing just because, I mean, you have people living off the government who won't get off their fat asses and go get a fucking job like everybody else. So, I mean, yeah, 100% should be a term limit.
Okay. Well, maybe one thing I could say here is that Donald Trump isn't imposing a term limit on Section 8. So it just kind of sounds like you just came up here to say that you hate poor people because you hate poor people and not really to debate on why you support Trump.
No, it's not that I hate poor people.
But maybe like
It's
one thing.
The fact that people don't sit there and go get jobs and seek for jobs or do any of that. They just want to sit there and take off of the government and everything like that. It's why do I have to pay taxes for people to just sit on their ass? That's not cool. So I have to pay taxes because somebody else wants to sit on your lazy ass and not do a single thing and just live off the government.
Do you think everyone who's unemployed is lazy?
Yeah, 100%. So you think it's okay for an unemployed person
my God.
to keep collecting unemployment for 4+ years? You think that's okay?
All right. So I definitely disagree with your notion that all unemployed people are lazy, 110%. Because I think that there's many circumstances.
Get out there and work the fucking real world. Get off the fucking internet and actually go work, dog. You little piece of shit faggot.
Hey, David, how many continents are there?
There's that's not even point of the fucking view right here now, Dean.
Hey, David. Hey, David. Hey, David. How many continents are there?
Dog.
Hey, David. How many continents are there?
You think you're some fucking badass?
Hey, David. How many continents are there?
How many continents? You sound like you're fucking retarded.
And we're going to go ahead and kick David for his use of slurs and derogatory terminology, of course, because that's what we do. We don't allow that on this stream. And the reason why I didn't immediately kick him and rather asked him that question is just to demonstrate that the Americans that use terms such as the F slur, the R word, call all poor people lazy, all unemployed people lazy, are people like David, right? That have the mental maturity of my family puppy dog, not even the grown dog, okay? Because my dad has 2 dogs, one puppy that's 6 months old, one dog that's 3 years old. The 3-year-old dog is more mature than David. He probably has the same, mental, emotional acuity as the 6-year-old puppy, right? And the education of me in 3rd grade, if even I feel like when I was a 3rd grader, I knew how many continents there are. It is a unique but all too common intersect of no knowledge and no emotional regulation or maturity whatsoever, right? And that's what produces David, right? So David, and for all of the Davids out there, I'm actually going to ask you to get off your ass, stop spending your time baselessly scrolling on your For You page filled with brain rot about how poor people suck. Go to school, get an education, and try to do something with your life beyond projecting your issues onto those around you, you absolute coping POS. Thank you for your time and allowing me to speak my mind. But we're going to go ahead and get that next Trump supporter up here because that guy was an embarrassment to his side of the aisle. I know that everyone watching right now is just cringing so hard after having to bear through that. But let's get that next guest loaded in right now. We got Sam loading up. And while we do have Sam loading up, there's a couple people I'd like to thank. Moriah, thank you so much for the 300 in OK, which is around 20 USD, saying I'm watching America from Norway and I'm petrified. What the fuck is going on over there? So much, Moriah. But you're always hanging out with us in here. I hope that you're doing all right. I would also like to very briefly thank Carmela for the $23. Thank you so much for the love, Carmela. Carmela says, thank you for educating so many people, including myself. You're welcome, Carmela. And thank you for the $23. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. As well as Jason, I appreciate you so much for another $20 over on $1 super chat. And then Camp with the $50 super chat saying that people like David are the personification of mid-2000s middle schooler edgelord stupidity on steroids. Camp, I couldn't have said it better than myself. I'm telling you, y'all stay cooking over there on the YouTube. I really appreciate you for that love, Camp. Please show some love to Camp down below alongside all the other donors, including the Orange Man with the $50 super chat. Thank you so much, the Orange Man. They say, I just wanted to say I'm a Democratic Hispanic working on a Republican construction site, so hearing your streams are really comforting and making me feel like I'm not so alone. You know what, man? You are not alone, and I understand. I understand that feeling to some extent, you know, growing up in an incredibly Republican area myself. But I just can't understand the additional pressure that would come from you being an Hispanic man in today's political climate, where we have Trump saying all the undocumented immigrants are mental asylum prison escapees that are violent gang member criminals, and the reciprocal effects that would have on you as an individual of Latino descent. Let's go and get that next Trump supporter up here right now. If you're watching and you want to debate me, go ahead and put a me with your age down below in that chat, given that you are an American adult that does support Trump as president. I'd also like to thank Shia. Thank you for
Dean, I love you!
I appreciate you for the love and your dedication to try to get up here. Change their name to MAGA God. You know what? I'll give it to you. Just don't do it again. Let's get that next Trump supporter up here. And like I was saying, Shia, thank you so much for the $31 donation on Venmo. That is SHEA. Please show some love to Shia down below. Seriously, Shia, thank you so much. They say first time donating. Thank you for pushing these bozos. Have the best time tomorrow. Be safe. And it's my 31st birthday too. Dude, happy birthday, Shia. Show some love to Shia down below for the $31 and show her some love for her birthday. Thank you so much and happy birthday to yourself. And then Mal with a 10. Thank you so much. Taylor with a 5. And then Paige with a $15 saying keep educated and keep challenging. Thank you for the love, Paige. And then T with a $20 saying that today is an abnormally politically shitty day. Thank you for easing my anxiety a bit. Yeah, today is really crazy. Thank you so much for the love, you guys. What's up? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay, how do you?
I'm 20.
And why do you support Trump as president? Oh, wait, AJ, we talked yesterday. Get the hell out of here. I don't know how you continue to come back up. We're going to move on to the next guest. Right now, we got Jaden loading up. Yo, Vintage Techie, thank you for the $50 super chat on YouTube. Vintage Techie didn't attach a message to their donation, only the love. Thank you so much, Vintage. You are awesome. As well as Gina, thank you for the $15 over on PayPal, saying I watch your streams almost daily and have so much respect for you. Thank you, Gina. As well as Jerry with a 5, Devin with a 6, A with a 5, Amanda with a 5. Thank you guys so much for the love. And Josiah with a 15, saying, hey, Dean, is there anything that you and Parker disagree on? I think that we have some slight disagreements on political philosophy. I think. I don't know. But I appreciate you for the $15. That is an interesting question that me and Parker should explore. What's up, Jaden? Do you support Trump?
Yes, and I can prove that I'm 18.
How?
I have my birthday decorations and my birthday card from last week.
Okay.
Wait, how do I get my camera?
I sent you an invite. You know what? I'm with this. Just make sure not to expose any personally identifying information. I sent you an invite to turn your camera on. Jaden, are you still here with us?
Is my camera not on?
No, it's not on. You have to click save. Okay, we're not seeing anything. You know what? I'll believe you because of your confidence. Just real quick, what is your birthday? Oh, it's on now. Let me take a good look at that. Let's go ahead and put this on the big screen so we could take a big look. Expand. Happy birthday, 18th, from Mom. You know what? Okay. All right. You know what, Jaden? I believe you. I gotta say, you've done the impossible. You've done the impossible, Jaden. Let's go ahead and.
Wait.
No, I believe you.
Hold on. Do you want to see my Tesla?
Oh wait, you're the same Jaden as last week, right? The one that came up and I.
Yeah.
I
Hold
told
on.
you
Let me show you my
your age.
Tesla.
And you said that you got a Tesla for your birthday and I didn't believe you?
Give me 1 second.
Okay, just make sure not to expose your license plate, okay?
Okay.
Okay, be very careful about that, Jaden. Seriously, be very careful.
Okay, 1 second. So I can't show my license plate, but it is pink. so I just wanted you to know. And this is my door handles. They have bling on them. Okay, look.
Okay. All right. I believe.
Okay, hold on.
I believe you. No, we don't need it anymore, Jaden. I believe you.
How do I turn off my camera?
I'll turn it off for you.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Tell us why you
Okay.
support Trump as president. I believe you.
Well, like last week, the main reason is that I'm pro-life. So that's kind of all I want to talk about. But if you don't want to talk about that, I mean, you know,
No, we could talk
I
about that,
don't know.
Jaden.
It's up. Okay.
Yeah, we could talk about that, Jaden. I think that you even posted a video saying when you try to debate Dean Withers, but he doesn't believe that you're 18. Okay, all right. All right, yeah, let's go to talk about it. Go ahead and tell us why you're pro-life.
Because I feel like it's murder. I mean, I don't think it's, you know, to the same extent as, you know, shooting someone or something, but I do think it's still ending a human life, that it's its own DNA.
Yeah, so do you think that, I just want to dot our I's and cross our T's real quick. Do you believe that, victims of rape should be able to access abortion? Do you hold on to the exceptions?
Well, it's hard because, of course, the woman didn't consent to get pregnant, but I feel like at the end of the day, there's still no difference because it, like, you know, the ultrasound, it's like as if you were to see two ultrasounds, you wouldn't be able to tell which one was conceived with consent, and it's still its own human life. So it's like it already happened, but again, it's still really hard. So I'm honestly undecided on that.
Okay.
Because at the same time, it's like,
just a quick question. Were you brought up in a conservative Christian family? Maybe even Catholic?
Yes, I was brought up in a Christian conservative household.
Okay.
But could we leave religion out of it?
Yeah, we could.
I would wish.
We could leave religion out of it. So, well, let's first start off by talking about victims of rape and why they should be able to access abortion. And I actually think that you could be pro-life and hold on to this belief. Because you could think that fetus is just as valuable as you or I. You could treat it as its own human person, and you could think that it has the same right to life that you and me do, and still believe that victims of rape should be able to access abortion by coming to terms with the fact that, well, they didn't consent to sex. They had that forced on them. They didn't consent to pregnancy. They had that forced on them. They didn't consent to the fetus taking their bodily resources from them to life. To stay alive. They had that one forced on them too. Therefore, they should be under no obligation to be continually or perpetually forced into providing their bodily resources to the fetus to keep it alive. The best argument in circumstances of rape is bodily autonomy and evictionism. That victim of rape is well within her right of bodily autonomy to evict the fetus from her uterus and stop the supply of her bodily resources to keep it alive. Why am I wrong?
Well, because, okay, I agree completely. Of course, she did not consent to get pregnant. And I think, yeah, well, because the baby, it's like, it's attached, but it's not a part. Do you know what I mean? Like, it didn't ask to be conceived either. So I just feel like if there were two people and one was conceived in rape and one was conceived with consent, there really is no difference.
Okay. Well, there's no physical difference in the biology or anatomy of the fetuses, but I think that there's an immaterial conceptual difference between the moral obligation that an individual may or may not have. Now, of course, because I'm pro-choice, I don't think that a woman or a girl would have a moral obligation to keep the fetus alive in a circumstance of rape or consensual sex. But from your position, you very well could argue that if it was consensual and a woman is looking to get an elective abortion, that a moral obligation would exist to keep the fetus alive. And I'll prove that argument wrong later. But you could still believe that there would be no moral obligation that would exist on behalf of the rape victim. Like think about it this way. Tell me why a victim of rape has an obligation to continually provide her bodily resources to keep the fetus alive.
Wait, I'm sorry. Sorry, could you repeat that last part?
Tell me why or what obligation you think that victim of rape would have to continually provide her bodily resources to keep the fetus alive.
I guess there really is none. Well,
Right. There's not. There's no obligation. And I'll give you an
It's just
analogy.
that if she wants to avoid, I don't know, feeling guilty, maybe, I don't know. But okay, also, do you know,
Well, we let people make legal decisions that may make them feel guilty, okay? Like, for instance, in so many scenarios, cheating is legal, and I bet cheating would make a lot of people feel guilty. But second of all, right, not all women that get abortions, especially women that are getting abortions because of grape, they don't feel guilty all the time because they're getting that abortion. But here's what I want to say. I want to use
How
an
do you know
analogy
that?
here. How do
do
I
you know
know?
that?
How do I know that not every woman ever that's received an abortion, especially in circumstances of rape,
Oh.
doesn't feel guilt after it? Because
Okay, never
I've
mind.
talked to women that have gotten abortions, as well as we have like empirical statistics to demonstrate that this point is clear.
It's just that I feel like there's studies both ways that like show that women feel relief after abortion, and then some that feel depression and such a big mental toll.
Okay, yeah, but guess what? The most
I feel like-
the most regretted surgery that onsets the most post-operative depression is going to be hip surgery, onsetting post-operative depression at a rate of around 36%. Do you think that hip surgery should be illegal for that reason?
No.
Okay, well then you can't use that same argument to justify that because some women may feel depression following an abortion, that abortion should be legal for that reason, even though it's less likely to onset something such as depression than hip surgery, right? But I want to use an analogy here to demonstrate very clearly why victims of grape should be able to access abortion. Let's talk about it. Let's imagine that you're a homeowner, you work a job, and with every dollar of your paycheck, you buy yourself food. And every night you leave your front door unlocked, all right? And you know for the next 9 months, in the middle of the night, somebody's going to walk into your house through that front door and take half of your food to feed themselves. All right? They're going to do it for 9 months. You know that. And you also know over the next 9 months that you are going to become physically, what's a good word here? Malnutritioned. You are going to starve. It is going to be physically uncomfortable. It's also going to bear some negative psychological and mental effects. And there's around a 3 to 5% chance that by the end of these 9 months, you're going to die from starvation as a result.
Wait,
In this
what?
Do you need me to repeat it?
No, but what did you say about you're gonna die?
I'll repeat myself. Okay, I want to be as
Okay,
clear as
fine.
possible with what I'm about to say. You're a homeowner in this hypothetical, and every dollar that you make from your job is spent on food to provide resources to yourself. You know, for the next 9 months, somebody's going to be coming into your house in the middle of the night and taking half that food. And you know, if they do this for the next 9 months, there's around a 3 to 5% chance that you're going to die from starvation as a result. And you're also going to be very physically malnutritioned, and you're going to experience negative mental and psychological effects because of this. Okay? And you can prevent this person from taking half of your resources in the middle of the night by simply just locking your front door. They won't be able to get into your house. But because they can't get into your house and take half of your resources, as a result, they're going to die from starvation. Do you think that you should be well within your legal rights to lock that front door at night?
By locking the front door, I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't like kill them
Okay, well, the
or eliminate them.
conceptual takeaway from this is you think that you are well within your rights to stop supplying your resources to a non-consenting third party, even if said non-consenting third party dies as a result. This is exactly what an abortion for a victim of rape would be doing, especially the abortion pill.
So,
that can-
are you
okay.
saying a baby has to consent to growing in your uterus?
What?
Are you saying the third party that's non-consensual is a baby?
No, it'd be non-consensual on behalf of the woman, non-consensual in the sense of the fact that the fetus is taking their bodily resources without their consent.
Okay. So, apart from grape, what are your views on abortion?
Well, can we agree that victims of grape should be able to access abortion, as they'd be under no obligation to provide their bodily resources to a non-consenting third party against their will forcefully? And in fact, because of the conceptual takeaway from the analogy I just employed, it became incredibly clear to you how you think individuals are well within their rights to stop supplying resources to third parties, even if said third party dies as a result?
Sure.
Okay.
But didn't you say, or someone said this, most abortions are not from grape and they're from like a whole family that already has kids or something like that?
Yeah, most abortions are elective. 97% of them are, right? That doesn't dispute the 2 to 3% that are from grape, as that accounts for thousands of women in which you think should be denied access to abortion. I think that they matter. I think that that is a grave human rights violation, so I think that is something that we should discuss to see if we could agree on it.
Okay, well, I'm curious. Okay, sure. But I'm curious why you brought that up first then.
Yeah, because I think that you could hold a consistent pro-life view while still thinking that victims of rape should be able to access abortion. I don't expect me to be able to swing the pendulum on you to go from pro-life to pro-choice, but I do think it is realistic for me to be able to swing the pendulum on a facet of your argument, that being from thinking that victims of rape should be denied access to abortion to believing that they should be allowed access to abortion. So if we can now agree that victims of rape should be able to access abortion, now we could talk about the 97%, that 97% being elective abortions. Why do you think that abortion should be banned in elective circumstances?
Basically, for the same reason that the baby is attached to the woman, but it's not a part of her, and it's its own DNA, and it's its own human that deserves human rights.
Okay, and why does it deserve the human right to life?
Because that's its species.
Okay, so you're saying every member of our species has the human right to life. Do brain dead patients who are members of our species and alive have the right to life?
Well, what are their chances of living a life again? Like,
When you say actually living a life again, do you mean having a conscious experience?
Yeah.
Okay, well then you're saying that not every member of our species has a human right to life. So when you told me that the fetus does because it's a member of our species, that was a false statement.
Oh, well, they have a really bright future.
Okay, so it's not just merely being a human that gives you the right to life under review. It's having future sentience.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are they going to experience in their future that you think is valuable?
I mean, again, this is what I feel. I know I keep saying that. Technically, it's not like facts, but I feel like life is beautiful and there's so many good opportunities to come.
Okay.
Even if they're brought up in what good opportunities?
Yeah, well, I mean, would you just like reduce like the thing in their future that's valuable down to like a conscious experience?
Well, like, for example, you debate people and you want to get them to change their minds, and that, I'm guessing, makes you happy. Like, that's an example.
Are you saying that they could be happy? Okay, you're just saying that they could have like some subjective
they
experience
could
of like some
do
emotion.
great
in the
things.
future.
Like, okay, they could be a doctor. They could be a whatever.
That's not a good argument. They could also be Hitler 2.0, right? Like, I feel like you should just
Okay.
reduce your argument down here to saying, well, they like could have like a future like ours in the sense of like a sentient experience in the future. Is that your position?
Sure.
Okay, all right, phenomenal. Now that we know that that is your position, we need to work through this. So you're saying that consciousness grants the right to life, and because the fetus will be conscious in the future, we should just give it the right to life now?
Yeah.
Okay, does being 21 grant the right to be able to legally buy and drink alcohol?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Does being 21 grant you the legal right to buy and drink alcohol?
Yeah.
Will 15-year-olds be 21 in the future?
Yeah, if they don't get killed.
So should we just give that 15-year-old the right to buy and drink alcohol now?
No.
Oh, so you're saying that we have to wait until they're actually 21 when they get that right. And this is my thoughts on like consciousness as it relates to the right of life. I would say that, yeah, consciousness is valuable. I would say that, yeah, it is what grants us the right to life. We just need to actually wait until the fetus has it in order to give them the right to life, which currently neuroscientists set at around 20 through 24 gestational weeks with a thymocortical connection, meaning that you'd be pro-elective abortion 99.99999% of the time, possibly even 100% of the time, as I've never read a single case of a woman getting an elective lethal abortion after viability.
There's never. Okay. Can you repeat the last part?
Well, I mean, I think that the meat on the bone there that I'd like you to respond to is the fact that, you know, following the line of logic that we just both described, you would wait until 20 through 24 weeks to give the fetus the right to life, meaning that you think any and all abortions are morally permissible for any reason or no reason at all prior to that point.
Okay.
That's pro-choice. That's Roe v. Wade, by the way. Roe v. Wade wanted to protect all women and girls'
Well, I'm not
access
saying I'm
to...
agreeing with that. I'm just saying okay.
Okay, well, if you don't agree with it, then give a counter-argument.
Sorry, I was reading the chat.
I mean, they're just saying the same thing over and over again. Don't know if there's too much to read
Yeah.
there. Can you give a counter-argument to my position?
Which position again?
Yeah, the position that we agreed that just because a 15-year-old might be 21 in the future, we shouldn't just extend them the right to buy and drink alcohol now.
Well,
They have to wait until they're
don't
actually
see how
21
that...
first. Meaning that, like, simultaneously, the equivocal application of this principle to the circumstance of the right to life would be, well, if being conscious grants you the right to life, and I can understand that fetuses might be conscious in the future, we need to wait until they're actually conscious in order to give them that right. which would be at 20 through
Okay.
24 weeks per like the most recent studies and from neurodoctor studies and neuroscientists in America.
Okay, but do you believe that a human life begins at conception?
Yeah, but I don't believe that human life is valuable.
You don't
until
think
it
it's
gains the ability
conscious?
to deploy conscious until 20 through 24 weeks per the studies and science I just described.
Okay, well then my early argument that was like, you know, they could have a future. Okay, just pretend I didn't say that.
Okay.
Okay, so then I think it's still wrong to end a human life.
Because it's a human life?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then this just goes right back to the analogy, comparison, and argument to do with brain dead patients. Remember when I asked you if you think it's murder to kill them, and you suggested that you don't think it's murder as they don't have a future conscious experience? Well, now in accordance
Okay,
with
well,
your
what
new
would
view
you
on why you
say
think
if I-
abortion would be banned, you'd actually be special pleading and contradicting your moral principles if you were to suggest that it's not murder to kill a brain dead patient, even though they lack a future conscious experience, because you're now telling me it is not a future conscious experience in which would make a life valuable or not. It is merely the fact that they're human. Right? And it is, right, factual to state that brain dead patients are both biologically human and biologically alive.
Okay, well then what would you say if I said it was murder for a brain dead patient to be killed?
Well, then
What
I
would
just
you
ask
say
you if you
then?
think it should be banned to pull the plug on a brain dead patient, the same way you think that access to abortion should be banned.
Okay.
And your answer
Well-
there is a no, right?
I guess not.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, if your answer is there as I guess not, well, now, like, logically speaking, you should be pro-choice because you're affirming that you think it is murder to kill a fetus because it is merely human and alive. Very similarly, you are affirming that it is murder to kill a brain-dead patient because it is merely human and alive, yet you were telling us that even though it is murder to kill the brain-dead patient because it is merely human and alive, it should not be illegal to kill brain-dead patients, thereby equivocally stating that therefore it shouldn't be illegal to kill a fetus, making you legally pro-choice.
do you think it should be, what do you think about a brain dead patient? Do you think it's murder to pull the plug?
No, I don't.
Okay. I'm gonna go now. Thanks for your time.
Please consider these views. I understand that you literally just turned 18. You are still young and you have been brought up in a conservative Christian household. Explore reality, acknowledge truth, and don't assume that the values, political ideologies, beliefs propagated, so on and so forth in your household are those in which are entirely true globally speaking. There is a lot of nuance and many facts that are typically left out of discussions of values, beliefs, and politics in households across this country, as households are literal echo chambers. That is something that I had to come to terms with growing up myself, as I also grew up in not just a conservative Christian household, but a conservative Catholic household. And that is what I'd recommend to you. They left, so let's go to move on to that next. Debate. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you are an American adult that supports Donald Trump as president. We'll happily get you loaded in because they left. Let's go ahead and get that next guest connected right now. We got Isaiah connecting to the stream. I'd also like to thank E, thank you so much for the $10 over on Super Chat. Thank you so much for the love, E. Can you guys please show some love to E down below in that chat for the love? I would also like to thank T with the $5 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, T. And then Aubrey with the $10. Thank you so much, Aubrey. Saying I had a coworker tell me the most dangerous place in America is a woman's womb. Fuck that dude. Dude, oh my God. I'm surprised I haven't heard that one before. What a crazy statement. Thank you for the $10, Aubrey. And seriously, yeah, fuck that guy. As well as Jennifer, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo, saying I feel guilty being on Section 8, etc. because of people like David. I have health issues, can't work, trying to get on SSDI. What do you think of the possibility of getting shut down / health crisis? I'm not sure if I understand the last part of that statement, more so the question. However, don't feel guilty for being on Section 8 and other social safety nets because of people like David. David is wildly uninformed. David has no clue what he's talking about, and he's just fallen victim to mass propaganda perpetuated by those on the right in an attempt to convince humans that they're not deserving of the bare necessities, right? I'd also like to thank Alan for the $15 saying keep on fighting the good fight, man. I recently changed my registration to ensure I could vote in the primary and be a big part. And a big part of that has been watching you and Parker. Dude, Alan, that is so awesome. Seriously, I'm so proud of you, bro. Everyone needs to be voting in the primaries. You were awesome. Please show some love to Alan down below. As well as Hannah with the $10 on Venmo saying, can we watch and have you comment on Trump's speech to the generals today? It was bizarre. I posted a video about it. Go check it out. As well as Kim, that is KYMB. Thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Thank you so much, Kim. Let's get 200 Kim W's down below in that chat. Kim says, love you. I love you too, Kim. Thank you for your kindness. And if you're watching and you want to support me, you could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok and in the pinned message of that YouTube stream. Significantly better than TikTok gifts or YT super chats, as I think I get like 30% of those. Meanwhile, I get 100% on the V and the P. Anyways, welcome in. What's up, Isaiah? Do you support Trump as president?
Yes, sir. I support Trump.
And how old are you?
I'm 19.
Go ahead and tell us why you support Trump as president.
I support Trump mainly because of the policies that he has. Well, not really his policies, but his core beliefs that the party represents.
Okay.
I'm not.
It's not about his policies. It's about his core beliefs. So what are his core beliefs that makes you support him as president?
I would say his support on pro-life, immigration, the border, all the stuff like that. Like, but then we get into the part of, yeah, I do not believe that Trump is a good guy, as you know, he is very, very questionable with the things he's done. I don't think that, but I think that what he represents in the Republican Party is why I voted for him.
Yeah, I have a question. Do you think it'd be like, because you're pro-life, do you think it'd be wrong if like a mother like beat, tortured, and starved the fetus growing in her uterus?
Well, yeah, obviously that's wrong.
Do you think that that'd be like antithetical to like the core values of the pro-life worldview?
To harm another human life?
Yeah, to like beat,
yeah,
for like a pregnant woman to beat, torture, and starve the fetus growing in her uterus.
Yeah, that's pretty much wrong.
Yeah, that is antithetical to like the core values of the pro-life view?
Yeah, that's wrong.
Okay, then why do you agree with Donald Trump on immigration, considering the fact that he had Abrigo Garcia illegally deported to Secot in El Salvador, where he was beaten and tortured and starved for 3 months? Are you just telling me that you only really care about the state and well-being of a human life, given that it is inside of a woman's uterus, but if it is outside of a woman's uterus and an immigrant in this country, all of a sudden you're willing to sweep them right under the rug?
Okay, but I want to ask you, what did that guy do to get sent back?
Nothing. His removal was illegal, as ruled on by SCOTUS on April 10th with a 9-0 decision.
Okay, well that gets us to the point where wrong stuff happens. Like, there's nothing that you can do to justify that, or I could say that to justify that, because that's not what the party represents and what we want that to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want justice done for the people like that.
Okay. Well, I think if you truly want justice and fair treatment for all, then your first question wouldn't have been, what did he do to deserve to be beaten and tortured and starved for 3 months?
Well, obviously that there's different outcomes for why stuff like that happens, and I was getting to the point if maybe he had done something to get sent over there to begin with. Okay, now we're to the point that happened. All right, that's not how that should go, and I think honestly that he should have some type of, you know, justice done for him and his family, because that is not what we want to do as the Republican Party that supports.
So we should be giving justice to families? It's like ripping families apart, justice? Because that's exactly what Donald Trump's mass deportation is doing.
I think that the mass majority of the Republican Party has already come out and said that we want to keep the families together while they're getting deported.
Oh, so you'd like deport citizens too? Because a lot of the children of undocumented immigrants born on American soil are citizens per the 14th Amendment. Or do you just like agree with Trump when he tried to pass Executive Order number 14160, his first day in office, to illegally take birthright citizenship away from the children of undocumented immigrants born on American soil, infringing on the core American value of the 14th Amendment of the American Constitution, which expressly gives birthright citizenship to everyone born on American soil?
I think that if you're here illegally with not the papers that say you're allowed to be here illegally, that you should get sent back. And now, does that suck if you have a family here that is legal? Yeah, but that's your fault for putting in a situation where the opportunity presents itself for you to get sent back after the fact that you're already not legally here.
I'd actually arguably say it's the Trump administration's fault for supporting such devastatingly harmful policy, both economically and humanitarianly, to begin with, of mass deportation. I mean, how the hell can you stand behind a policy that, according to the American Immigration Council, is going to reduce our GDP by $1.1 trillion through $1.7 trillion per year, while costing $2 trillion over the next 10 years and reducing government revenue by over $100 billion per year, as that is the taxes in which undocumented immigrants pay?
Can you repeat that again?
I think it is the fault of the Trump administration for supporting such a devastatingly harmful policy to begin with of mass deportation. According to the American Immigration Council, mass deportation is going to reduce our GDP by $1.1 trillion through $1.7 trillion per year if we were to remove all undocumented immigrants tomorrow by forcefully deporting 8.3 million of our workers and removing 11 million of our consumers, while also costing $2 trillion over the next 10 years to fund ICE, build the detention centers, and manage the deportations, while also reducing our government revenue in that same time span by $1 trillion as undocumented immigrants pay over $100 billion in taxes per year.
So you think that just because somebody's undocumented, that they should stay here just for the fact that they make American product better?
That's one of the many facts, yes.
Don't you think that's kind of wrong to keep them here just for the fact that they make the economic growth better when they could have, even if it's not here for their like beliefs of being free? So you think they should just be allowed to be here for work?
So, I mean, I just clarified that's one of the many reasons why I think that they should be allowed to be here. And are you telling me that it's wrong to support policy that makes this country better? And if you are telling me that it's wrong to support policy that makes this country better, then it makes sense why you support Trump.
Say that again.
Are you telling me that it's wrong to support policy that makes this country better, such as how mass amnesty of giving undocumented immigrants a pathway to residency or citizenship would make this country better, as they'd be able to continue productively providing to America? And then once again, if you are telling me that it's wrong to support policy that makes this country better, I said that it makes sense that you support Trump.
So you think mass amnesty is what we should do for the undocumented that work here?
Yeah, I think that that's what we should do for any and all undocumented immigrants in America without prior violent offenses. Pretty insane nonviolent criminal offenses are pretty insane outstanding warrants from other countries. Yes.
I think that's pretty insane to say that people here illegally, that are just allowed to be legal citizens just because they're here illegally. That doesn't make sense.
So insane is not an argument. It's a word used in absence of argument. If you have any good reasons why mass amnesty is bad, feel free to give them to me. But as it sits right now, I don't think you do. And you're calling it insane because that's what the guy on Fox News told you to think.
Okay, so you're saying that even though they're here legally, but they're not committing a crime. So you think that being here illegally is not committing a crime?
I said they're here undocumented, meaning they did commit a
Okay, so
federal
being here
misdemeanor.
undocumented.
I'm going to go ahead and continue to speak. I said that they are here undocumented, and undocumented entry into this country is a federal misdemeanor, which is a crime. However, I particularly said that I think they should be offered a pathway to residency or citizenship, given that they don't have any violent crimes on the record, or pretty insane / bad non-violent crimes on the record. So you were just changing what I said to attempt to appeal to fit a position. Now, are you saying that they should be removed from the country because they committed that misdemeanor?
I'm saying that if you're here legally, then you should get sent back. But I do agree with
because they
what
broke the law?
Yeah, that's breaking the law.
Okay, so committing a federal misdemeanor warrants expulsion from the country, but committing 34 felonies and being held civilly liable for rape warrants entry into the White House? How is that not hypocritical?
If you're illegal, if you're a legal citizen, you should go through the American process system of getting prosecuted.
Okay.
But if you're not illegal, then you should get sent back to the country that you're from.
I don't understand that. Could you repeat what I said just to make sure we're on the same page here? Because you're not responding to what I said.
You said that that a felony offense that is liable to go to prison.
No, what I said is that I think it's hypocritical for you to suggest that if you commit a misdemeanor, that would warrant expulsion from the country, but if you commit 34 felonies and are held civilly liable for rape, that would warrant entry into the White House to run the country. I think that's hypocritical. I do.
I am not saying that. I would, if I could change Donald Trump from being president today for a different candidate in the Republican Party, I would. Okay, he is the last person. I think that he has a lot of problems with what's wrong with America. Okay, but that's not changing my opinions from the conservative views. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so you're saying that even though he's a felon, he should be able to run the country because you think he's good for the country? So even though immigrants have committed a misdemeanor, they should be able to stay in the country because they're good for the country. Boom.
I'm not saying that he's good for the country.
Okay, if he's not good for the country, then you wouldn't support him as president. So you are saying that.
No, I'm saying I'm supporting. I'm a conservative. I already support the Republican Party.
Oh, so you're saying that he's bad for the country, but ultimately he's a member of your party, so you place your party over your country?
I place my views and my personal views of what I think the country should be on. And like I said, since
if you're telling us that you place like your personal views on the way in which you think the country should be governed, then you're telling me that Donald Trump would fall in alignment with those views, meaning that you think he's governing the country in a way in which you think it should be.
No, I said he falls into the party that I vote for.
Exactly. So then you are saying party over country. I was right.
I think that the conservative party is best for the country, yes. I'm not saying that the head of the conservative party, Mr. Donald Trump, should be the leader of that, because I don't think that he should be. I think that he's not a good president.
Yeah,
I think that
I don't even think that Donald Trump falls in alignment with like supposed like conservative values. Like I hear like
I would
conservatives
agree with you. I
shouting
would
and
agree
screaming
with
like
you.
all the time about like freedom of speech and like personal liberties and freedoms, right?
Yeah, I would agree with you.
And if you align with their same conservative values, why don't you reject Donald Trump as a good president or a good leader, given the fact that he's violated the First Amendment like a billion times in the last 8 months? He said that it's illegal to criticize him in the media. He tried to get Jimmy Kimmel canceled because he said something that he didn't like. He passed an executive order attempting to ban the burning of the American flag, even though the SCOTUS ruled in 1989 in the Texas v. Johnson court case that is explicitly protected under symbolic speech following from freedom of speech under the First Amendment. He said that it's illegal to boycott and protest. Like obviously, right? He's not just standing in opposition to these quote-unquote conservative values, but he's actively eroding and attacking them. Yet you're telling me because of these conservative values that you support him as president. It's just a big gumbled, jarbled mess.
I don't know why you keep saying I support him as president. I've already said that I don't.
Okay, if you don't support him as president, well, could you please read this sentence for me?
Okay, but this gets into the argument of that I think there's a lot of people.
Wait.
Wait.
Seriously, could you please read the sentence?
Okay, listen, I have to support Trump because he is what the Conservative Party has placed in the top of the...
Okay, so then you're saying that you do support him.
Forcefully, almost, I have to support Trump because
Wait, who are
I'm
you
a
being
conservative.
forced to support Trump? Who's forcing you to support Trump?
The Republican Party, by keep putting him in the position to get elected in.
Okay, so you're saying that regardless of who the Republican candidate was, you would ultimately support them?
Because of how the Republican views align with my views.
Okay,
Yes.
so if Kamala Harris ran as a Republican, holding the same views that she did in the election, and Donald Trump ran as a Democrat, holding on to the same views he did in the election, who would you have voted for?
Obviously Kamala Harris.
Okay, so then you are telling me that you ultimately do place party over country. See, I think that you are a big problem with American politics today, where you want it sensationalized and something equivalent to that of a college football game. The material outcomes of the candidates or the president doesn't matter to you. All that matters to you is the slogan of a party affiliation that they're slinging while they're doing it, right? Like you're literally telling me that Donald Trump could be the complete opposite of everything that he is today by literally being Kamala Harris, and you would still support Kamala Harris as president given that she was registered as a Republican because she would fall in alignment with your party, sir. The point is that you shouldn't vote on party lines. The point is that you should vote for the candidate in which aligns with the most benevolent values, right? And party lines do not always fall in line with the most benevolent values. Like, for instance, maybe we're 30 years in the future from now, party switch occurs, and then all of a sudden, it's the Republicans that are standing for basic fundamental human rights, equality for all, tax protections for like low and middle income Americans, so on and so forth. I'm going to be voting Republican, right? But you're telling me that regardless of the values in which the candidate stands for or stands behind, you're ultimately going to vote for the candidate in which would fall unto your tribe, sir. Tribalism is dogmatism, which is incredibly damaging and erodes the foundation of this country as it shifts your perspective from not caring about the future of the country, only caring about which party will govern its future, regardless of what that future looks like.
No, what I'm saying is that my beliefs right now as the conservative, I think that the Conservative Party and the Republican Party is best fit for the country. That's putting my country above the party, okay? But that is why I'm saying right now that the Republican Party is best fit for to run the country in my views as a conservative male. Now I'm saying if the party flipped, okay, and the Democrats and the Republicans flipped, I don't care about the label as a Republican or conservative. I care about what's best for the country in my political views.
No, you don't, because you told me that if Kamala Harris was a Republican, then you would have voted for her. False.
Yeah, because if her views was lined as Republican views,
so
that's what I would have.
So then it's about the views. So what views does Donald Trump hold that makes you support him as president?
I said the pro-life, okay, pro-strong borders, and that's my two big. That's my two big.
Borders. So what good border policy has Donald Trump implemented in the last 8 months?
He has had the biggest mass deportation that we've seen.
Name one material positive outcome of mass deportation on America.
More American jobs, more American job opportunities for Americans. Like you talked about this whole live stream, how there's less jobs for Americans than there has been because the unemployment's higher than more jobs. Well, the more the illegal immigrants that we take out, the more jobs that we create open for American citizens.
Okay, well, I mean, I think that you just kind of refuted yourself in that last sentence because it is the case that if it created more open job opportunities for Americans, then why are there more unemployed Americans?
I'm saying that what you said is how there's more unemployment than there is job opportunity.
Right.
Okay,
when I refute the notion that the like mass deportation is like doing what you're saying it is? Because
I'm saying that-
following the last like 8 to 9 months of mass deportation from the Trump administration, there's more unemployed Americans with less open job opportunity.
okay, so if you get rid of these illegal immigrants, their job opportunities, that job opportunities opens up for more Americans. Therefore, the unemployment would go down for Americans.
Wait, but why has the unemployment gone up for Americans in the last 8 months? Doesn't that prove you wrong?
No, because the whole mass deportation it's still underway.
It's still underway. Got it. So actually you're wrong. Downsizing the labor force doesn't open up more job opportunity. I could prove this with like one sentence. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Was the labor force bigger or smaller than it is today 100 years ago?
Probably bigger than what it was.
The labor force was larger 100 years ago? Sir, that's not how population growth works.
I'm not sure what you're asking me. Ask me the question.
Was the labor force larger or smaller than what it is today 100 years ago?
No, obviously not. We have way more people now.
So it was smaller 100 years ago. Was there more job opportunity or less job opportunity 100 years ago when the labor force was smaller?
I would say that I don't know the statistics, but I would assume that the labor force was less.
So the labor force was smaller and there was less job opportunity.
That's what I would assume, yes.
Right? That's what's true. Argument made.
I don't understand how that correlates to anything that I have said.
Because you were saying that mass deportation will open up more job opportunity by downsizing the labor force. But historically speaking, the smaller our labor force is, there's actually been less job opportunity.
Okay, well, that's a bad argument because think of how much more like large corporations we have now than we have then. That there's job opportunities that need filled from new people. Those jobs just aren't going away when we get rid of these people.
The reason that we have more large corporations offering more jobs today than we did 100 years ago is actually because we have a larger labor force, right? Think about it this way. Under capitalism, like the labor force and employee positions at companies aren't like losing positions for their employers. See, the employers are profiting off of their employees. The employees generate an ROI for them. And then with that additional money, they then reinvest into their business to grow and expand it, in turn offering more jobs, all right? So with a larger labor force, right, and a more productive consumer base that's spending more, we would expect a more prosperous economy with more GDP growth and more job opportunities, right? Therefore, when we forcefully downsize the labor force, unexpected and unbeknownst to the producers, firing 8.3 million of their laborers and removing 11 million of their consumers, our economy starts a downspin. That's why the American Immigration Council tells us that if we were to remove all undocumented immigrants tomorrow, our GDP would fall by 1.1 through 1.7 trillion dollars. When you compile that fact with another fact that they pay taxes and we're no longer going to be getting that taxable revenue and we got to spend trillions of dollars to deport them from the country, the economy is not just less productive, but it's going to be harder to make more productive through government subsidies because we have less money to give.
I can see what you're saying, but here's what I think. That, yeah, it would go down for a little bit, but as soon as Americans, like, it would take time for Americans to start filling those jobs, but then once Americans start filling those jobs, then you would see unemployment fall to what it has been really high, but you would see it go down because these Americans would get these jobs. But like you said, yes, the GDP would go way down to start because that is empty work that is not being filled. But as soon as the Americans would start taking these jobs, then we'd start seeing stuff prosper. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we shouldn't expect Americans to just fill every job opportunity created by mass deportation. There's already 8 million open job opportunities in America today that Americans aren't filling, so why would you expect them to fill the 8.3 million job opportunities created by mass deportation? And then second note here, even if they somehow did fill every single job opportunity created, still yet there would be a total amount of less job opportunity due to the fact that, I'd say that supply is created by demand, right? And there's nothing that we could do to fill the shoes of the 11 million undocumented demanders we'd be removing from the economy. So overall, we would expect less supply.
I want to ask, how many unemployment Americans do we have in America?
Can you respond to what I just said there? Because the total amount of unemployed Americans doesn't really concern any of the points that I just made.
Well, I just have that question because I want to go off of the point you said that those immigrants fill 8.8 million jobs, okay? And you already said that there's 8.8 million job opportunities right now. Is the unemployment bigger or higher than 8.8 million right now?
I know that there's more unemployed Americans than there is open job opportunities.
Okay, but I know you said that, but I want you to look up and tell me that there's more than 8.8 unemployed Americans
there's 8
right
million
now.
Open job opportunities, or there was like 2 months ago. Sure, I'll prove that too while you respond to my last argument, because this wasn't my last argument. This is a point that I made 10 minutes ago. I'll happily prove it to you, but please respond to my last two arguments because this is a pivot.
Okay, let me hear your last two arguments again.
Why should I repeat them? Why weren't you listening?
Because I was thinking about what I was going to say, just like you do.
Jesus Christ. No, I listen to everything that you say. This is why I haven't asked you to repeat yourself at any point in our conversation. Meanwhile, you've asked me to repeat myself nearly every single point of the conversation.
I think I've asked you 3 times.
Right. Yes, exactly. You've asked me to repeat 3 of my arguments 3 times. Right.
All right, can you just ask me one more? Can you just repeat what you said one more time so I can give you a response?
Okay. I will try. I will try to do this one last time here. Okay? I don't even remember where I was at. I think that you were telling us that, well, Americans are going to fill the job opportunities left open after the mass deportation, and then our economy will bounce back. So even if they fill every job opportunity created by mass deportation, still yet our economy is going to be significantly worse off because American citizens can't just get up and fill the shoes left by the deportation of the 11 million undocumented immigrants that were demanders and consumers of goods produced by those job opportunities.
I would say that there is truth to that, but I agree with what you say right there.
Okay, then overall you agree that the economy is going to be worse off following a mass deportation.
No, I'm just saying that I don't think that
That's what it
you're
amounts
saying.
to. That's what it amounts to. That's a loss in demand
'Cause you're saying-
of American-produced goods.
That's loss in demand for right now. Okay, that is going to be.
No,
but you're just saying
that's not true.
it's
That
time to happen.
that restriction will forever persist. It's not for right now. It'll never be reversed as long as we uphold mass deportation. That overall net loss will be forever persisting. No one will ever be able to fill the shoes created by those undocumented immigrants that are left following their removal. No one. That's just not how it works. There will be a persistent and never filled vacancy of these would-be 11 million demanders in the market that will create a persistent and never fixed inefficiency in demand of American goods, thereby mitigating GDP growth and American company performance. That's like, how is that going to be fixed in the future?
I see what you're saying. So I guess I have to ask you, okay, about this whole thing.
No,
all right?
answer my
'Cause
question. You
that
said
is-
that that's just going to be a short-term issue, but not in the long term. How's that going to be fixed in the long term?
I would say that it maybe not be completely fixed, but I'm saying I would say that I'd rather have Americans have those jobs and Americans be taken care of first.
Okay, you're not
And make
answering
sure-
the question.
In the long term, it would, like I said, it would take more time for these Americans to fill these jobs. Like it's not just going to happen overnight.
Now you're so confused because we're not even talking about jobs. We're talking about.
No, I know what you're saying.
We're
I
not
know what
talking
you're
about the
saying. You're
supply
saying
side of the
about the
economy. We're
economic-
talking about the demand side of the economy. You told me that inevitably, sure, I understand what you're saying, Dean. The issue of removing 11 million American demanders from the demand side of the American economy is going to hurt the American economy in the short term, but it's going to self-adjust in the long term. How's it going to self-adjust in the long term? How's it going to fix itself in the long term?
So all these immigrants that are working right now, what are they doing? They're working, okay?
You said the word work. That's on the supply side of the economy, meaning that you are deflecting as I specifically asked you a question about the demand side of the economy.
So how do these immigrants have anything to do with the demand side?
Because immigrants buy goods to live. Duh.
So you don't think so? So you think that they should be able to buy their stuff because they're illegally here, and so that makes it okay for them to do that?
I'm actually not giving you a should or moral or okay argument whatsoever. I'm giving you an empirical fact. That empirical fact being that they do buy goods, meaning that when you remove them, you remove their consumption and demand of consumption, immediately impacting GDP growth as you're removing some of said gross domestic product and impacting the producers that were making more goods at a higher level to fulfill the additional demand. I'm not giving you a should argument. I'm not telling you what I think should happen. These are just the facts, the economic facts.
I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying now. But can I ask you a question?
No, because you said that inevitably, even though removing the 11 million undocumented demanders in the economy would hurt our economy now, it's going to self-adjust and fix in the future. Explain why. I've asked you for an argument for that 3 times.
Okay, and I said that
the 4th time.
I'm just agreeing with you now, okay? I say that you're right on that.
Okay, if you agree that I'm right on that, then you agree that ultimately speaking, mass deportation is going to negatively impact the American economy now and in the future.
Okay, so then I have a question for you, okay?
Okay, well, I mean, actually, no, I have a question for you because remember, I asked you to detail one way that that mass deportation would make this country better. You said it'd help the economy, but now you're conceding that it hurt the economy. So my question to you is, well, then let's go back to the first question. Now that you've agreed a con of mass deportation would be hurting the economy, what are the pros?
I want to ask you a question.
Because you can't identify a single pro of mass deportation?
No, because I want to. Do you think that they should only be allowed to stay here for economic reasons?
I thought I already answered that. I think that's one of the many reasons why I think they should be allowed to stay here. Now, please answer mine. That's again the same question that is.
No, is that the only? Is that the only reason you had? Is that for economic reasons?
I literally thought that I just told you otherwise. I said that there's many reasons why I think that they should stay here. There's economic reasons, there's humanitarian reasons, and there's practical reasons.
Okay, what are your humanitarian reasons?
I'll happily give them to you after you answer my question, right? Because right now you're trying to shift the burden of proof onto me. Remember, you told me that you support Donald J. Trump because of his mass deportation. You have failed to identify any pros of mass deportation. You've conceded on the con that it'll hurt the American economy. You are going to have to be able to identify those pros to uphold your original position that mass deportation is good for the American is good for the country. So, what is an overall positive benefit of mass deportation on this country?
Okay, so would getting rid of violent offenders that are not legal here, is that good for the country?
Yeah, and I agree that we should be deporting or imprisoning undocumented immigrants with prior violent offenses on their records. But guess what? Because Donald Trump's scope of deportation has been all undocumented immigrants, not just those with prior violent offenses on their records. He's actually been deporting those with prior violent offenses on their records at lower levels than the Biden-Harris administration.
Okay, so then we agree.
Well, I mean, we were just agreeing that in alignment with the goal of making America better by either imprisoning or deporting undocumented immigrants with prior violent offenses on their records, that Kamala Harris was better at achieving this goal, meaning that Donald Trump would be the worst of two evils in this context, meaning that ultimately speaking, he doesn't align with your values. Kamala Harris did, and you should have voted for her, and you don't support Trump today.
I don't know how you got that.
Because she was able to successfully deport more undocumented immigrants with prior violent offenses on their records compared to Trump today. And that was the one positive identifiable pro of deportation that you were able to describe to us.
Okay, well, in their campaigns, Trump was pro strong borders. Okay, and that takes us back to the two sides of right now where they're at. The conservative side, strong borders, and that's not even saying.
Don't pivot. Wait. Now you're just saying that a positive outcome of mass deportation that you support is stronger borders.
I've said from the start that stronger borders, that strong
right,
border
but then
control.
remember earlier I asked you, well, how's he making our border stronger? And you said mass deportation. So this is a circular argument. You're saying that mass deportation is good because it makes our border stronger, and it makes our border stronger because it's mass deportation. Circularity, sir.
So then we're just going to keep on going in circles.
Okay, so you admit that your argument is a circle. Circularity is illogical. I mean, it's anything but logical, right? It's literally a logical fallacy. It'd be the circular logical fallacy, meaning that you admit that your argument insofar as why you support Trump is fallacious.
No, that's not.
So now you're saying that circular argumentation is not fallacious. So
no, I'm saying
are you trying to argue
right
that circular? I am right about that. So if you admit that that the reason insofar as why you support Donald Trump as president is logically fallacious, well, I feel like I've done my job. I've done it well.
No. Okay, first off, just take
wait.
the
You don't think that I've successfully done my job well by getting you to concede to the fact that your argument for why you support Trump is logically fallacious? Is that not the...
Because you haven't. Because,
wait,
okay...
Wait. I have a question. Should you reject all arguments that are logically fallacious?
No.
So I have you defending logical fallacies now. I mean, wow.
Okay, but this takes us back to the very start, okay? I said strong borders... I said strong borders, why I support Trump, strong borders, and pro-life.
I gotta replay that 1 second. I gotta replay that Trump today, and that was the one positive.
First off, just take
you don't think that I've successfully done my job well by getting you to concede to the fact that your argument for why you support Trump is logically fallacious? Is that not the?
Because you haven't. Because
wait. I have a question. Should you reject all arguments that are logically fallacious?
No.
Okay. Listen, if you shouldn't reject all arguments that are logically fallacious, I'm going to give you an argument why Donald Trump is a bad president, and I want you to reject it, okay?
Okay.
Find a way to prove me wrong, okay?
All right, I'm listening.
Donald Trump is a bad president because Donald Trump is a bad president. Prove me wrong.
I would agree that Donald Trump is a bad president. We've already agreed on this.
So you support a bad president?
Listen, I support the Republican conservative views.
Wait. just to clarify, you support Trump as president, yes or no?
Yes, because of how.
Wait, stop. You think Donald Trump is a bad president, yes or no?
Yes.
Whoa, stop. Therefore, you support a bad president, yes or no?
Listen.
No,
Okay.
no. Therefore, you support a bad president, yes or no?
I say Donald Trump is a bad president because of his characteristics of a human. Okay.
Therefore, you support a bad president, yes or no?
Yes, I support a bad president. I've already said that.
You know what? I think this debate's over. You told me that you don't reject all logically fallacious arguments, and you accept that you support a bad president. So you have a good rest of your day, Isaiah. Let's go to get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the box. Holy fucking cooked. Noel, thank you so much for the $100 super chat over on YouTube, Noel. That is so fucking kind of you. Thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much, Noel. Noel with the 100 big ones says, as someone who is going to run for Congress next year, I love the work you are doing to spread facts and to discredit the misinformation MAGA spreads. Noel, that is so incredibly kind of you. Seriously, thank you so much for your kindness. Please show some love to Noel down below in the chat, not just for their kind message, but also for the $100 donation. That is seriously very, very kind of you, man. I do not deserve that. That is so much love. Thank you so much for your kindness. W fucking Noels spammed in the chat all day long. Okay? All day long. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, as much as I can.
As much as you can. How old are you?
I'm 23.
23. Great. Let me go and thank a couple other people here. T, I appreciate you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat 2. So they say, never stop, Dean. The populist nonsense is spreading, even here in the Czech Republic, which is historically rationalist/atheist. Following your channels, wish I was as brave as you. When I was in my 20s, you give me hope. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you. And I really appreciate you so much for the $20. Thank you. I'd also like to very quickly thank, here, give me a moment, another, Tanya, thank you so much for the $22 over on PayPal. Thank you so much, Tanya. Tanya didn't leave a message, only love. Thank you so much for your kindness. As well as Carolina, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal as well. Thank you so much, Carolina and Tanya, as well as Carolina. I read your message there. I appreciate you for your kind words. Thank you so much, Carolina. As well as Asia, ASIA, thank you for the $10, saying you are so amazing. The way that you debate is great. Thank you, Asia. And then Felicity with the $20. Thank you guys so much for the love. Felicity says, thank you for educating me. Appreciate you. Love from Canada. Love to Canada and love to you, Felicity. Thank you for your kind words and the $20. You are fantastic. As well as Haley, thank you for the $35, saying so happy you're live today. I start Lexapro tonight, and this is a great distraction. Let me tell you, Haley, these lives are a great distraction. I gotta agree with you. I am so often distracted by these lives when Parker's hosting them. They're nice to listen to when I'm doing chores. And thank you so much for the love. As well as Sarah. Thank you for the $22 on PayPal, saying thank you for your incredible work. Thank you, Sarah. Tyler with the $6, H with the 10, and Selfie with the 3. There's one more person that I'd like to thank you for a new donation over on PayPal. Karen, thank you for the $75 donation, Karen. That is so kind of you. Holy fuck, you guys are being so kind today. Show some love to Karen in that chat. Karen with the $75, that is spelled Karin, says, Dean, you are spreading truth and light in these dark times. You have my respect. Can you shout out Amsterdam for its 750th birthday? Have a great time tomorrow at the on your day off at the show. Much love from Karen, Amsterdam, Netherlands. Dude, huge shout out to Amsterdam and huge shout out to Karen. I appreciate you so much for the $75 donation. You were hella based. Now, there's a handful of other donations too that I need to go get around to on Venmo, but I'm going to break them up so I'm not taking too much of everyone's time. Go ahead. Tell us why you support Trump.
Well, basically the reason I do support Trump is his... he lies about this sometimes, I will admit, but when he actually is America first, that I do support, and I feel like he was more America first than Kamala Harris, so that is what leaned me to vote for Donald Trump.
Okay.
Would be the America first policies.
So tell me, what about Trump screams America first, and what about Kamala Harris screamed America last?
I will be honest with you. I can't give you too much off the top of my head that screamed Kamala Harris American last, but the things I do believe she wanted in her own ways the best for America, but I just don't think they align with my beliefs on what America first were. But I think from her perspective, she does care about the country.
Well, I'm not asking you from her perspective. I'm asking from your perspective. From your perspective, what did she run on that screamed America last?
Okay, well, let's start off with Trump. This has been a big topic for you for the past 2 or 3 people that have been on, has been the deportations and such, and you want to know the benefits. And
okay, I need you to answer my question. So what did Kamala Harris run on that screamed America last? And what is Donald Trump doing that's screaming America first? Why can't, like, you're not going to be able to avoid my question by just doubling down on not answering. And now he's gone off app. Well, I guess while he's off app, I'm going to thank a couple people. Jose, thank you so much for the $40 donation over on Venmo. Thank you, Jose. Jose with the 40 bucks.
My bad. I was scrolling Instagram.
Says,
I didn't realize if you fucking.
Jose with the 40 bucks says, thank you, Dean and Parker, for educating people. Shout out to my Portland people for the amazing style of protesting. Dude, yeah, people have been protesting in amazing ways out there in Portland. Jose, I really appreciate you for the $40. If you guys could please show some love to Jose for their kind words and the $40 donation in the chat. It mean the world to me. As well as Joy, I appreciate you for the $20 on Venmo 17 minutes ago, saying I've had it with Republicans calling themselves conservatives. It no longer applies. Start calling this out, please. Yeah, you know, I actually can't really, I agree that I think that they've really found themselves detracting far away from a lot of like conservative values, quote unquote. I appreciate you for the $20, Joy, as well as Anthony with the $10. Thank you so much for the love, Anthony. Leah with the 10, and then Lee, thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo 30 minutes ago, saying I love tuning into your live, Dean. Thank you for standing strong on facts and talking to the misinformed with clarity and courage. And we are all caught up. Seriously, everyone. I appreciate you so much all for the love. If you're watching and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. And I really appreciate everyone so much for all the support. Go ahead and tell us what values of Kamala Harris screamed America last and what values of Trump screamed America first.
I mean, I know she liked to contradict herself in 2024 to her beliefs in 2019, but in 2019 she had a belief of decriminalization of illegal border crossings. That's the most un-American thing I've ever heard in my life. You committed a crime. You came into this country illegal. It doesn't get decriminalized because your people want to use them as votes to get elected. That's just not how it works. It's a crime. Like anything else, it's going to be viewed as a crime. So there's that.
I just want to be clear. That's not a contradiction. Even if that's something that she did think in 2019, that's not a contradiction. Like, for instance, in 2019, I was a Trump supporter. Doesn't mean I'm contradicting myself by not being a Trump supporter today.
Okay, I mean, you like to use definitions. By the definition of contradiction, that would be a contradiction, but okay.
No, what's the definition of a contradiction?
Look up the Webster's definition for a contradiction. I'm willing to bet every money I have as a betting man that Kamala Harris changing her belief from 2019 to 2024 on a very important issue as a Democrat, that would be a contradiction.
How much money?
You got a lot more money than me, so I'll bet you $20.
$20 sounds good. And you're willing to bet $20 that's like a contradiction?
Yeah, fuck it, man. It's $20. Let's bet $20. It's all good fun.
So you owe me $20. The reason why you owe me $20 is because a contradiction is the affirmation of two opposing propositions. It would be like affirming why and not why simultaneously. An example of a contradiction would be saying, it is true that I have shoes on, and it is true that I don't have shoes on. It is true that this object is a square. It is true that this object is a circle. It's the affirmation of the affirmation of a proposition and the negation of a proposition, right? So in order for this contradiction to be true of Kamala Harris, she'd have to, like, for instance, say that she wants to decriminalize border crossings while simultaneously saying that she doesn't want to decriminalize border crossings. But I mean, even using your own language, you said that she changed her mind, right? Changing your mind on something is not a contradiction, as you're not simultaneously affirming the affirmation and the negation of the proposition simultaneously.
Okay, I'll agree with you. I owe you $20, Dean.
Okay, my Venmo, my PayPal are in the link tree in my bio at DEANWITHRS.
Sounds good. But also, can I ask you a question following up that statement I made? It might not be a contradiction, but the fact that she did change her opinion on that from 2019 to 2024.
For sure, that's fine. It's also worth pointing out that most of the time we use the word contradiction in like this political sense, we mean like hypocrisy, right? But like even changing your mind isn't an example of hypocrisy. But go ahead.
Would you now, this is my personal, I believe she honestly, I don't know her as a person, I can't say this, just from an outside perspective, I would think she kind of still agrees with decriminalization of illegal border crossings. It seemed to me she, end quote, changed her mind on it because she had a lack of voters and needed some more voters. So it seems like she did that with a lot of her policies going into 2024. And I wouldn't consider myself a conservative. I'm a Trump supporter. I'm kind of in the middle. She could have swayed me with her views if she wasn't so, I can't use the word contradictory, but if she didn't change her opinion so much in a 5-year span when she started running in 2024.
I'm just like curious. When did she say that she wanted to decriminalize undocumented border crossings? And what
was during a CNN town hall in 2019, I believe.
And what did she say? Like, what was her quote?
I would have to look up the exact quote for you if you wouldn't mind, but I
Yeah, I'm just
know it
curious.
was just her. I believe it was the panel asked a question if you would support the way it was if you would support decriminalizing illegal boarding crossings, and just show of hands, and she was the first person to put her hand up. I don't think it was a quote. I think that's the way it went.
And what does it mean to decriminalize undocumented border crossings? Because like, what I know is like very popular for a lot of like the Democratic presidential candidates in like the 2020 election was to support the decriminalization of undocumented border crossings by just purely leaving it to like civil law instead of criminal law, right? But like when you say
Yeah.
decriminalizing border crossings, it sounds like just have a complete total open border. So if you can
No,
give an
I
explanation
don't want to confuse people by
like
saying
what
that
she means by
de-
decriminalizing border crossings.
is making it a misdemeanor crime instead of a federal crime when you illegally cross our border.
Okay, well that sentence was no sense. Misdemeanor crimes are federal crimes.
Or felony. I misspoke, Dean. I'm sorry. A felony crime. I misspoke.
Oh,
Not federal crime.
Wait, so it's not a felony in America today. Like all case law on the prosecution of undocumented immigrants prosecutes them as a federal misdemeanor, not a federal felony.
Well, okay. Well, answer me this. You probably are more educated on the topic than me. Wouldn't decriminalizing make it more hard to be able to deport someone for an illegal border crossing, or no?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I would support that.
Okay.
Can you send, wait, just real quick, before we continue, could you send the 20?
I know your chat is like hellbent on that.
I know. I wasn't as hellbent on it as they are, but I think they have a point. Can you send the $20?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to go off app, but
yeah, that's fine.
All right. This is so funny.
Holy fuck! Oh my god! Yo! Just for fun, the screen name of a very generous individual. Their screen name is, and I quote, "Just for fun." Just for fun, with the $500 super chat on YouTube. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Holy shit. Dude. Just for fun, thank you so much for the $500 super chat. I'm sorry, that is unreal. I think that we're going to shorten their name to Fun. Can you guys please show, like, an absurd amount of love to Fun in the live chats? I literally want to see W Fun spammed like 1 billion times in all of the live chats. This goes without saying. That is like, dude, let me like refund you. I don't even feel okay like accepting that much money. That is like seriously insane. Thank you so much for the love, Fun. That is so incredibly kind of you. That is so fucking generous. Thank you. Let's get 1 billion Fun W's in the chat. We're gonna go ahead and recenter right back around the debates. But seriously, that is just like on another level. Fun. If you're still tuned in, thank you for your kindness, and I mean that incredibly, incredibly seriously. Go ahead.
Dean, I actually have a question that I've been changing my beliefs on. This is a big problem I have with the Conservative Party. I know you're a big speaker for the Democratic Party. I think this is an issue us young people, whether we're Republicans or Democrats, are kind of bipartisan on right now. What is your belief? And I don't know how the Democrats are about it. I really haven't looked into it. What is your beliefs or your stance on how we fix I'm going to get shit for this. How we fix the over-influence of Israel in our federal government?
I don't really think that you're going to get shit for that in my life. We start by banning lobbying. We get AIPAC out of the pockets of our congressmen and women. And then we finish by promoting the common sense idea that we shouldn't be allies with a country engaging in ethnic cleansing or genocide.
Yeah, no, I will say I completely agree with you on that. And this is coming from a Catholic who leans conservative, that I think it's what's going on is completely ridiculous over there.
I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next guest, but you owe me that $20, okay? So I'll let you guys know when that 20 comes through. So you have a good rest of your day. We're gonna go to get that next Trump supporter up here. He owes me that 20. We'll see if it inevitably comes through. I'll keep you guys updated. But let's get that next guest loaded up in here. Hop in that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. What's up? Do you support Trump? Oh, they're not here. Moving on, guys. Go to put a me with your age down below in that comment section. If you'd like to come up and have a debate with me about why you support Trump as president, we'll happily get you loaded in. I'd also like to thank Brittany with the $10 over on Venmo, saying I always love seeing you debate. Thank you, Brittany. Show some love to Brittany. As well as Jordan with the $10 saying, hey, Dean, love your lives and the work that you do. Do you have a web base with all of your sources? I don't, but my buddy Parker does. He has like a bibliography in his bio on TikTok at Parker Get a Job with like 1 billion sources for everything. It's worth looking at. As well as I'm going to call you Y. Thank you so much for the $30 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Y. Show some love to Y down below in that chat. They say, thank you for educating and standing up for all Americans. Never stop. I hope you run for office at some point. I may run for like some office at some point in the future. I don't know what office it will be, but I wouldn't doubt it if it happens. What's up? Do you support Trump? Nope, they're not here. Desiree, thank you so much for the $25 on PayPal as well. I've been read off the PayPal for a while, so I apologize for keeping you waiting, Desiree. I did read your message there. Thank you so much for the $25. As well as Sarah, thank you so much for the $22. Sarah,
Hello.
that would be a child. Sarah with the $22 says, thank you for your incredible work. Thank you so much, Sarah. Show some love to Desiree and Sarah down below in that comment section. While we are still looking for that next Trump supporter, guys, keep in mind that we do have rules on the live. They are simple, though. Just make sure if you do find yourself in that queue that you are an American adult that supports Trump as president. Very simple. What's up? Do you support Trump?
You got to check the HUD website. It's got to be violating the Hatch Act. Check the HUD website.
Tell me to check the HUD website in violation of the Hatch Act? I mean, I just saw them calling it like Democrats like crazy leftists. How does that violate the Hatch Act? Maybe somebody could inform me. I did look at that though. I mean, I thought it was like strange, but like super on brand for Trump. Hey, Rena, R-E-N-A, thank you so much for the $27 donation over on PayPal. Thank you, Rena. Thank you. Saying I'm an indigenous viewer from California. I just wanted to say I love your debates. You educate me day by day. I've been going through sad hours lately, but you and Parker's streams have been getting me through it. Rena, that is so awesome to hear. You know, it really does put a big smile on my face to know that the streams can help other individuals out. Not just like learning more about politics, but just kind of like getting through hard days. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that, Rena. As well as McKinley, thank you so much for the $20 in PayPal saying Donald Trump said in an interview that smart people don't like him. I remember that clip. It was funny as fuck. Thank you for the $20, McKinley. And then Abby with a 10 and Chloe with a 5. All right, guys, we're really going to focus on getting the next Trump supporter up here. I've like maybe loaded in 5 people and just not like a single one of them have supported Trump as president. So if that's you, you do support Trump, please hop in that queue. And we're going to try to find the next Trump supporter right now. Also, make sure that we're double tapping away in that phone screen on TikTok, sharing out this live with a handful of friends too. And I'm actually going to shoot a text off to Parker to see if he wants to join. We are like literally trying to get like anybody up here that is MAGA. We got David loaded in. What's up, David? Do you support Trump? Hello? Nope, David's not here. Sophia, are you here? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Thank you for the galaxy. Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 18.
What year are you born in?
2007.
What month?
What month? July.
I don't trust you. I'm sorry, Sophia. If you actually are 18, I apologize. I just looked at your account, and I am making the executive decision not to trust you. So we're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone be patient while we're getting that next guest loaded up in here, guys. Please respect the rules. Please follow them too. I would really appreciate it, y'all. What's up? Do you support Trump?
No, I do not.
Banned. Moving on to the next guest, guys. I just sent a Parker to text. I just sent a text to Parker asking if he wanted to join. So we might have him up here, quite frankly. Who knows? Let's get that next guest loaded in right now. Hop in that queue if you are MAGA. Please, 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 please. Also, once again, make sure that you're double tapping on that phone screen. Yo, Abby Cookie with a $10 on Super Chat.
Love you, Dean. Love you so much, Dean.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for the love. You have a good rest of your day. Abby Cookie with the $10 saying, could you do more 3v1s? I actually would love to do more 3v1s, but the issue I'm facing right now is I can't even find somebody for a 1v1. The Trump supporters are running scared, quite frankly. Oh, well, all right. I guess that's the nature of what we do here. Oh my God.
Cool. Leave the keys in it. All right. Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, sorry. I'm at work right now.
Did you mean to be in the queue?
Yeah, I did. I'm 20.
Do you support
June
Trump?
1st, 2005. Yeah.
Are you driving?
No. Yeah, I'm going through.
Yeah, I don't believe you for a second. Dude, it sounds like there's about 1 billion things going on. You're overstimulating me. I don't want to be overstimulating you when you're behind the wheel. Chloe, thank you so much for the $50 over on PayPal. Thank you so much, Chloe. Chloe with the 50 bomb says, keep doing the hard work. Thank you, Chloe. That is very kind of you. And I appreciate you for the $50. Like, holy fucking cow. Chloe, that is a lot of money. Thank you so much. Please, for everyone watching, show some love to Chloe down below in the chat. That is spelled CHLOEY. And what is up? Jackson, are you driving?
No, currently I'm not. I just pulled over. Wait, how the hell did I end up here?
You requested. Did you want to debate?
Oh, no. But I'm just gonna say, hey, real conservatives appreciate you, dude. Fucking.
Okay, well, Jackson, I'm gonna leave your mysterious comment there. That was an interesting one. Very mysterious. Feel free, because I do think that you are driving. Feel free to re-request if you ever want to have a conversation with me about why you support Trump, Jackson. I'd love to have you up. And I'd also love to learn more about your comment. Interesting. Very interesting. I appreciate you for it nonetheless. Just very interesting. That's all. What's up, Delaney? Do you support Trump? Nope, bad. All right, guys. I'm going to stop pulling from the queue after this last guess. Okay. This is going to be the last guess I'm going to try to pull from the queue. If I can't get a Trump supporter up here, I'm going to start pulling exclusively from the chat. So just start following the rules. Only be in the queue if you're an American adult that wants to discuss why you support Trump with me. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Nothing. Hold on. Yo, Dean.
What's up, man? You MAGA?
Hello?
Hi. Do you support Trump?
Hello? No, my grandma does, though.
She with you?
And yeah, I'm in the basement, so give me like 5 seconds, all right?
You know, you got it. You got it.
Give me like 5 seconds.
You fucking got it, dude. Put him on. While he's putting her on, Daryl, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo, saying because this disingenuous MAGA tool is not going to make good on his bet. I don't think he is either. I appreciate you for the love, Daryl. Thank you so much for the love. As well as Shaylin, thank you for the $15, and I appreciate all the time that you take to debate and educate people. Thank you, Shaylin. Olivia with a 5. Then Jocelyn, thank you so much for the $25. And Brandon, thank you for the well diving. Jocelyn with a 25 says, love what you do. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that.
Yo, I'm sorry. She left to the dollar store. I'm just going to be wasting your time. I'm sorry.
Dude, Alan, feel free to hop back in that queue when she's back. I'd love to chat with her. All right, moving on to the next guest. Here we go, guys. We got Alexia tuning in. Brandon, thank you for the star map. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And then Miles with the $5 over on Venmo. Appreciate you for the love, man. And Gwen with the $10. Thank you. Okay. All right, Alexia, hi. Are you here? Do you support Trump? Alexa's not here. Okay, I'm banning the queue. We're explicitly pulling from the chat. Let me know in that chat if you're an American adult that supports Trump. We'll get you up here. But like, boy, oh boy, right? Where are the Trump supporters at? Did they go extinct? Are they gone? Quite frankly, I feel like they're gone. Everyone. I feel like they're gone. Moving on. Let's see. Only hop in the queue and only spam me with your age down below if you happen to be an American adult that's MAGA. Hello? Hi, Mac and Cheese. How old are you? Mac and Cheese.
Hi, I'm 22.
Oh, okay. All right. Thought I heard like a 12-year-old boy there for a second.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can. I heard a different voice. Maybe I'm tripping.
I'm sorry.
No. Do you support Trump?
No, my heart's just like racing, so I'm still kind of. And I guess I wanted to talk to you about that.
Real quick question.
I have been leftist. Yes, sir.
I'll ask my question after you finish your statement. I have been leftist. Where's that going?
Yeah, so I was raised like Christian Republican, and I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. The past several years, I had been on the left. And I only recently, I voted for Kamala Harris in the recent election. I sound like I'm going to cry. I swear I'm not. I'm just nervous. But I've moved back to my hometown, and my hometown is very red. And I guess with all of the circulating opinions around here, I've been trying to educate myself more on both sides instead of just putting myself in an echo chamber on either side. Hence why, I'm watching your stream. But I will say that my opinions have started to shift and drift towards the right. I don't know if you know who Think Before You Sleep is, but he has made videos about you and, talking about some of your opinions. And I guess that has kind of started to make me sway. And I guess I'm here hoping that maybe you can provide some insight and some education on some points that he had brought up that I may not have considered.
Sure.
All right. So one of the points that he has made, and I've heard around here a lot, is as far as illegal immigration, how, and you've talked a lot about this during the stream, but how it's not fair and how it's not safe to those immigrating because, yes, we have, there are working jobs that Americans typically do not want to work, picking, fruit in the field and stuff like that. But they're also being hired on at a lower wage. And in that sense, it's almost, they're being taken advantage of in that sense. And I guess I feel that empathy there, like with taking advantage of illegal immigrants because they do pay taxes and they don't reap benefits and they do get hired on at lower wages doing jobs that nobody else wants to do because they suck.
My girlfriend brought me in a chicken and cheese quesadilla. Let's get some W girlfriends in that chat. Look at this beautiful, beautiful thing I'm going to devour.
That's very sweet.
Anyways, now we're going to respond to your point, saying that undocumented immigrants are being taken advantage of, they're being exploited, they get paid less, and they qualify for less federal benefits. I actually agree with that. Let me ask you a question. Why do they get paid lower wages on average compared to legal immigrants, residents, or citizens?
I would say probably because of their situation, they're more desperate to get out of that situation and are willing to accept those lower wages just to be out of the situation that they're in.
More specifically, they're more willing to accept lower wages as they have less bargaining power because they don't have long-term survivability in the market. Their employer can threaten to deport them. And if they don't have a job, well, they can't claim federal benefits. So instead of getting food stamps, they might starve to death, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if we were to offer them a pathway to residency or citizenship, meaning that they had long-term survivability in the market, they couldn't just be deported, and if they're unemployed, they could claim those federal benefits like Section 8 or food stamps? That would give them just as much bargaining power as any other resident or citizen, meaning they wouldn't get paid less on average, and they would be able to claim those federal benefits, which was the first issue you had brought up there. Isn't this the perfect solution to the facts that you brought up surrounding undocumented immigrants? It wouldn't be to deport them. It would be to offer them a pathway to residency or citizenship.
I guess so. My question again, I do not claim to be the most educated on any of these topics. I'm genuinely not. My husband just left, but my husband is a huge Democrat and his whole family is. And it's definitely been a switch for him because he's surrounded by the total opposite here. And he's been very frustrated because of that. But I guess my argument to that would be, wouldn't that be I guess they are paying those things. Never mind, I was going to say that we would be paying out from our Social Security and all the things that we pay during labor, and they'd be reaping the benefits of that. But if they're also paying those things, then
that actually
I guess
be more
there
likely
isn't
to pay
an
more
argument.
because undocumented immigrants are more likely to actively participate in the labor force. You give them a pathway to residency or citizenship, they'd be even more likely to work over the table in doing so, just as likely as any other resident or citizen, meaning that they'd disproportionately pay more taxes compared to non-immigrants offered a pathway to residency or citizenship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I guess that is a good point. Like I said, I want to be educated and I want to learn more, but I guess you can say my algorithm's been putting me down the alt-right pipeline.
Well, looks like you got back to the alt-left.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me, Dean.
Yeah, you have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you for coming up and being open-minded.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to move on to the next guest. Hop of that queue if you support Trump as president. We're going to have a special guest here real quick. Hey, say something or say nothing. Or mute yourself or leave.
Are you scared of a debate, Dean?
Good boy, Liam.
Dean.
You are such a good boy.
How do you know this is
You
Liam?
are such
who's Liam?
a good boy, Liam. Wait, what?
Who is Liam?
Did you forget your own name? Liam, are you okay?
Who is Liam?
You.
You have an obsession with this Liam guy? I don't even know who that is.
Bro, I'm being dead ass. Like, not even joking. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm really good. People call me Moose. Who are you talking? Who are you referring to?
What's your game here? Your name is Liam.
No, it's not. It's Amos Moose. It's right there in front of you. Are you? Can you read?
That would be your screen name, Liam. Wait. Say that your name's not Liam. Ask me if I could read, or ask me if I'm scared, or don't say anything at all.
My name is Amos Moose. It's
Good boy, Liam. Good boy. Good boy. We're gonna move on. If you don't know the backstory, I probably just looked like a massive jackass to you right there. There's context. Liam's been coming up onto the live for like the last couple of years. Running gag. It's a running gag. It's been a while since the last time we've run said gag because he hasn't been a while time. But we're so back. We're so back. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Hi, yeah, I was actually wondering if you could support my dad who does support Trump, and he has a gay daughter and a bisexual daughter.
Yeah, is he with it?
And we can't get him to see the light of day.
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Okay, he's at work right now. Can I send you a DM and get on a different day whenever he's available?
Yes.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you take care. Let's move on to the next guest right now. Wait, chat. Should we ask Liam a serious question about politics? Should we? Should we ask him? Should we bring him back up and ask him a serious question about American politics? What are your thoughts? Yeah. We'll ask him one. Hey, Liam. Do you like the First Amendment?
Do I like the First Amendment?
Yeah, freedom of speech.
I know what the First Amendment is. Yes, I value the First Amendment. Yes.
So then why do you support Trump considering the fact that he's a big threat to the First Amendment? Saying a week ago out of the Oval Office and the night beforehand on Air Force One that it's illegal to criticize him in the media.
That doesn't sound good, but what do you think? What do you think is stronger, words or bullets that say "Eat this, fascist," taking someone's freedom of speech away? That's your party. So let's have this conversation about our First Amendment rights.
Okay. Here's my question. If you want to assume that the political affiliation of the person that assassinated...
I'm not assuming anything, dude. It's called common sense. Remember, our party has common sense?
I wouldn't argue that you could conclude with certainty that because he called him a fascist, therefore he's...
Absolutely, I can.
Nick Fuentes has called Charlie Kirk a fascist.
I don't give a shit about Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is a weirdo.
Is he a leftist?
I don't care. No, he's not.
Oh, but he called Charlie Kirk a fascist. See what I mean?
I think that he's like you. I think that he's, just sucking off of people's emotions and making money off of it.
Wait, you think that I do this to pull at people's emotions to make money?
1,000%.
Oh, well, before we move on with the conversation, I'm going to thank the people that are helping me make money, such as Gabby. Thank you so much for the $100 over on PayPal. Gabby, I really appreciate you for the love. If we could all please show some love to Gabby down below in the chat, it'd be very meaningful. Gabby, that is so fucking kind. Thank you so much. Please show some love to Gabby in that chat. Now, Gabby says, from Gabby, love from the UK to you. Don't read out loud. Okay, I will not read the second part of that out loud, but Gabby, that is seriously so incredibly kind. Thank you for the money that I made off of your emotions. Thank you so much, Gabby. As well as Lorianne, thank you for the $25 over on PayPal, saying please run for office one day, and thank you. Thank you so much for the money, Lorianne. Oh, I can't believe I got your emotions. Thank you, Lorianne. And then Laura, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. Thank you, Laura. I'm so happy that I can manipulate you. As well as Natalie with a $10 and Jacob with a $10 as well. over on PayPal. I'm so happy I can manipulate the both of you. You guys are awesome. As well as T with another $10 over on Venmo. Alicia with a $10 on Venmo. And Dorian, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. Guys, thank you so much for the love. I'm so happy that I can emotionally manipulate all of you. Anyways, where are we at?
We were at the road to hell is paved with good intentions by the Democratic Party is where we were at.
Wow, I mean, all right, you're accusing me of like emotionally manipulating my fan base into saving me money.
No, I think that if we're staying with the first two amendments of the
Let's go back
Constitution,
to the debate. Sure, I'm down.
yeah. So I think that.
Well, actually,
I think the
I'd be the one to pick up
first
the
and
debate because
second
you're the last
amendments
one.
are.
You were the last one to try to make a point. So you said that you could assume that he's a leftist because one of his bullets said "eat this fascist." I said I want to say that would conclude it with certainty, considering the fact
More
that,
than that. I'm
if
not
you allow me to
going
finish. I would say because of the fact that Nick Fuentes is also called Charlie Kirk a fascist and Nick Fuentes is alt-right, you can't conclude that with certainty. But that wasn't even the crux of my argument. Even if we assume for the intents and purposes of this debate that Charlie Kirk's assassin was a leftist, right? And therefore you get to say that was your party. Well, he's also a white man. Could I say, therefore, that is your race and gender?
I don't think that that's relevant to the conversation.
Wait
a minute. Let me speak. I think that you try to win instantly on conversations and debates with bringing racism in right away, and I think that it's honestly just it helps you fail the debate is what it does.
I mean,
you should at least ease into the you're a racist, okay? And we're all white, and we need to give our reparations and all that. We should at least ease into that conversation, all right?
Well, I was just saying. So you're presuming a fact of his being, and then using that fact of his being to reflect on all other individuals with similar facts of their being, such as also being on the left, being a leftist, so on and so forth. Right? I'm just simply doing the same thing using your same logic with other facts of his being, such as the fact that he's a white man. It's you and so many other people on the right like to politicize mass shootings, political violence, so on and so forth to make the left look bad. But then the moment I use your same logic to make white men look bad, like the fact that it was a white man who shot Charlie Kirk, it was a white man who shot up Evergreen High School, it was a white man who shot up the Mormon church in Michigan, it was a white man who shot up the bar in North Carolina, it was a white man who shot up the casino in Texas, it was a white man that shot up the church in Missouri or Mississippi or Minnesota. All of a sudden, if I say, therefore, there's a problem with white men, right, that's crazy. But if you look at a few isolated incidents of violence as perpetuated by individuals on the left, and then therefore you say it's a problem with the left, apparently that is based logically sound and valid.
Okay, I don't disagree with all of that, but you know what? I think that the Caucasian party at this point, young men, have been demonized, that we are inherently racist, if you want to go down that line of conversation. And I think that there are a lot of young men who are like, I've never been racist. You're tying me to a group of people such as the Triple K or the Proud Boys, who I have no affiliation with, nor will I ever. But they're like, no, your skin is very white and pasty, and you are inherently racist. Okay,
I don't know.
And I think that there are a lot of young men who are angry because of this. Okay,
I don't know why.
And I don't think that they should be deemed as racist. Like you've had your problems with maybe being young and immature and being called out for the stupid shit. But does that?
I mean, this is a pivot. I just want to let you know. What? You gave an argument that the left is violent because you think the shooter of Kirk was a leftist. I then used your logic against you to entail a conclusion that you don't like, which is therefore white men are violent. You ignore the fact that I very successfully rebutted your own logic by using your logic to entail conclusions that you don't like, and then you move on, you pivot, and you talk about the inherency of racism depicted.
I didn't pivot. You went to racism. You pivoted.
I never brought up racism.
You didn't bring up race?
I brought up race. I didn't bring up racism.
Then what are you trying to get at because of, the color of someone's skin and them inherently being more violent or unaliving more people?
I'll be very clear with my point. Is it fair to say?
Why would they? Wait. Why would they do this?
I'll be very clear with my point. Is it fair?
No.
to say,
Tell me why.
No. You asked me what my point is. I'm going to tell you what my point is. I'm going to be very clear with it too. Is it fair to say that because the shooter of Charlie Kirk was a white man, that therefore all white men are violent?
Absolutely not.
Okay, then why do you think it is fair to say that because you think the shooter of Charlie Kirk was a leftist, that therefore all leftists are violent?
Never made the idea that all leftists are violent. We're talking about government. I'm not talking about everyone who votes for the leftist.
You're right. I'll be more specific. You only implied it with your statement that the left has a problem.
Stop muting me, bro.
Wait. I need to rephrase it because yes, for sure. You said the left has a problem because the shooter of Charlie Kirk was apparently a leftist. So because the shooter of Charlie Kirk was also a white man, is it fair to say that therefore white men have a problem? Like you said the left has a problem.
I think that the Democratic Party, like I said, the road is paved with good intentions, like the Second Amendment. I'm not changing the subject.
Yes, you
or
are,
anything.
because you're not answering my question.
Talking about the amendments. No, I'm not. Listen, I'm going to round it out, okay? Because you say that the Progressive Party is better at gun control and saving lives, children's lives.
Sorry,
and all that stuff.
sorry, my friend, that you're pivoting. You are pivoting 100%.
I'm not pivoting, bro.
Yeah, you are,
no,
man.
You know that you're going to get cornered again, Dean. Okay?
Actually, no. Everytown Gun Research refutes the idea that you could even corner me in this because it is a case of progressive gun control.
Why don't you mute me?
Better empirical outcomes of less gun deaths per 100,000 residents. So if you go on Google, you type in Everytown Gun Research, gun control saves lives, you could actually see a ranking of the strength of gun control laws in every single state compared to their party affiliation and leadership party affiliation, compared to their level of gun deaths per 100,000 residents. And you'll actually see the more blue a state has with more gun control, the less gun deaths they have. So yes, progressive gun reform is significantly effective in reducing the amount of gun deaths inside of their states, 110%. See, I actually just engaged with your pivot there and was still able to refute you and prove you wrong, just to point out the fact that the rhetorical devices you're using of accusing me of being scared of engaging with your positions because I'm not going to allow you to pivot are fictitious and obviously a plea to attempt to control the content of this debate to your liking and against the logical parameters of the arguments you're making. You suggested the position that because you think the shooter of Charlie Kirk was on the left, that because of that, therefore, the left has a problem. All that I'm asking you is, would it be fair for me to say that because the shooter of Charlie Kirk was a white man, that therefore white men have a problem? Is that a fair statement? A simple yes or no will suffice.
All races and sexes have problems with being violent, yes.
Okay, so you would say that it is fair to say that because the shooter of Charlie Kirk was a white man, that therefore that's the reason why white men have a problem.
No.
Okay, so then why is it fair for you to say that because you think the shooter of Charlie Kirk was a leftist, therefore that's the reason why leftists have a problem?
I don't think that it has to do with the person. I think it has to do with the party from the top down. I'm not blaming the person. Okay. I'm trying.
If it doesn't have to do with the person,
hang on. I think that. Wait a minute. So did Charlie Kirk in your debates? Did he ever mute your microphone, Dean? Why do you do it to me?
Well, I mean, he didn't even give me the microphone in the first place because he was.
No. Did you ever have a debate with Charlie Kirk? Did you ever have a debate with Charlie Kirk one-on-one?
Yeah, I had a 3-minute sit down with him on Jubilee against his will because it was.
How many times did he mute you? How many times did he mute you during that conversation?
Well, I mean, in the 3 minutes that he had, I don't know. He stuttered twice, failed to give a response once. But
Stuttered, sure.
But he didn't mute me.
Did he mute you?
No.
He didn't mute you. So why are you muting me? I'm trying my best not to speak over you.
Wait. If you're saying that I should just act in accordance with like the precedent set forth by Charlie Kirk, are you also telling me that I should turn around and say that Martin Luther King Jr. Was a terrible person and that we should reverse the Civil Rights Act and that whoever attempted to kill, the husband
no,
of
I'm
Nancy
saying
Pelosi
you're
was
a
patriot that should be
hypocrite.
bailed
Is
out
what
of
I'm
jail?
saying. I'm saying you're a hypocrite, and you're talking about the First Amendment as you're muting me when I'm trying to have a great conversation with you. That you know what that looks like to 1,500 people? Excuse me, 15,000 people.
Yeah, get your number right, buddy.
I know. I was like, wow, 15,000, and you're muting somebody and then talking about our First Amendment rights. Honestly, this is happening right now from you.
Okay, so yeah,
Tell me.
Oh, I do typically mute people when like they engage in like a reckless deflection, and I find that to be like the only device.
Reckless.
That's another reason why I mute people, right? There's because of interruptions. So you've actually exemplified the two characteristics in which are conducive towards me muting a guest. I typically mute people when they engage in reckless deflections and like incessant interruptions, and you're engaging in both. It's for the productivity of the conversation. Like for instance, I'll give you an example, right? I made my point. It was very clear. It was succinct, and it was awesome, right? You attempted to use the supposed party affiliation of Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk's assassin, to therefore make an issue with like the totality of the left. I use that logic against you to suggest that I could use other characteristics of his, such as the fact that he was a white man, to therefore make an issue with all white men. But see, the thing is, when I originally gave you that position, you completely ignored it. You did not engage with the insightful dialogue that I had set forth to refute the logic underpinning your position, but instead you attempted to make it into a new Don't mute me, little boy. Instead, you attempted to make it into a new conversation about the supposed inherency of racism in all white men and how white men don't like that, which is a categorically distinct and separate conversation than the line of dialogue that we're attempting to have on your first position. Obviously, in that circumstance, it was incredibly fair of me to either mute you and or interrupt you to get you back on topic. So how about you stop whining like a toddler and stop interrupting me? I'll stop interrupting you. Stop attempting to deflect and change the topic. That's not something that I've done, so I'm not going to meet you halfway there. And, communicate yourself like an adult and have a productive line of dialogue with me.
So if we're talking about our Constitution, okay, and the amendments, if you're talking about 1, 2, 3, or 7, whatever it is, it's still all the amendments our Constitution. So is that a deflection if I talk about first or second? Is that okay? Can I do that? I know that you're going to say I'm pivoting from subject to subject, but why can't I just jump around a little bit to have more of a colorful conversation? Dean, is that okay?
Yeah, what you call a colorful conversation is what I call a man who can't substantiate his positions with well-reasoned foundations. And when those foundations are found to be filled with cracks by me and my line of reasoning, you just ignore the cracks and you want to talk about a whole different position altogether.
Dean, I don't debate the way that you do. I don't conversate the way that you do. And you don't do the same thing as I do. Sure. You're more educated than me. You're a better debater. Whatever you want to say, maybe that boosts your ego, whatever it is. But am I still worth the conversation? I will say this too. At least you are one of the ones who will actually speak to me and is not a bitch like the rest of them. Okay? Excuse my language to all those women who are listening in.
We're going to move on to the next guest. I don't know. Apparently, he took pleasure out of the fact that I'd speak with him. I don't like it when shitty men feel pleasure. So we're going to move on to the next guest. Hop in that queue if you happen to be a Trump supporter that is over the age of 18. We'll get you loaded into the live. Everyone just do be patient. Let's get D Money loaded up in here. Everyone just do be patient. Eddie, thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat on YouTube. Thank you so much for the love, Eddie. Eddie with the $20 says, thank you for manipulating my emotions, Dean. Yo, let's go, Eddie. W manipulation. As well as Ali, thank you so much for the $10 over on Super Chat as well. And Nikki, thank you for the 50. Thank you so much, Nikki. That is so very kind of you. As well as I read your message there. I agree 110%. Thank you so much, Nikki, Eddie, and Ali. Please show some love to Nikki, Eddie, and Ali down below in that chat. And if you're watching and you like what you see, you'd like to support me, you could actually find my Venmo, my PayPal in the link tree in my bio. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
How old are you?
I quickly have a question. I'm good, thanks. And you? I'm 19.
Ooh, what time is it?
It is 20 minutes to 5.
What state are you in?
I'm sorry?
What state are you in?
Texas.
Okay. Well, actually, name 3 cities in Texas.
Austin. Okay, I'm not sure. I'll be honest, I'm not sure.
Up out of here. Don't believe you. Moving on to the next guest. I mean, you got the time zone, right? All right, we got Robert connecting. Hey, and also I'd like to thank Dorian. Thank you for the $20 over on Venmo, saying some people just shouldn't bet. That came in a while ago when that guy refused to pay on his bet. I appreciate you for that love, Dorian. Let's get 200 Dorian W's. Thank you so much for the love. As well as Jordan, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo, as well as I read your message there. Thank you for all your kind words. Show some love to Jordan. And Mindy, oh my God, Mindy with the $100 donation on Venmo. Mindy, holy fuck. Thank you so much for your kindness. I want to see 1,000 Mindy W's down below in that comment section. literally right now. Thank you so much for your kindness, Mindy. Please, everyone, show some love to Mindy down below. Mindy, you are fantastic. Thank you so much. Mindy says, thank you for all that you do. Well, I mean, thank you for the $100 donation. Seriously, that is insane. As well as Sarah with the $10 for the emotional manipulation tax. Let's go. And then Ray Ray with the $15. Thank you so much for the love, Ray Ray. And then Elizabeth with the $10 saying, manipulate my emotions, Dean. Yo, let's fucking go, dude. Manipulating all the emotions today. What's up? Do you support Trump, Robert? Robert, are you here? Robert is not here. Go ahead and put in me with your age down below in that comment section if you are a Trump supporter that is American and at least 18 years old that would like to come up here and have some dialogue with me. Let's go ahead and get that next guest loaded up in. We got Joshua connecting. Hey, I would love to thank Lily for the $30 over on PayPal. Lily, thank you so much. Lily says, been a while since I've been able to donate. Glad I could be here today. Lily, thank you so much for the $30. And it's really good to see you. It has been a while, my friend. It has been a while. Hope that you're doing all right, Lily. That is Lily with 2 L's, Lilly. I actually saw somebody special in the guest requests. Let me look for them. There they are. Hello. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. Bad news. One, he is terrified to debate you. As he says, this dude does it for a living and my English isn't very good. However, he did tell me if his uncle will join in with him, he did send a message to his uncle this morning. If his uncle is willing to join in with him, then he will do it. But without his uncle, he will not because he's absolutely terrified. But
yeah, I'll happily debate him and his uncle.
I wanted to tell you that, and I actually had a question for you because I know it has been acquitted, but as a American, how did you feel about Trump wanting to make Canada as the 51st state?
Yeah, I mean, it just fell perfectly in line with all the other authoritarian things he's done or said. I mean, he's disrespected the backbone of America, either violating or threatening to violate 8 out of our 27 amendments in the last 9 months. And, you know, now today he's declaring war on America and more specifically democratically run American cities, according to his own word of mouth. So threatening to annex another country forcefully falls right in line with that terrible authoritarian rhetoric. Joey, I appreciate you for coming up. And like I said,
Yes,
you know, I'd love to talk to your boyfriend and feel free to, you know, re-request at any point when, you know, him and his uncle are ready to go.
I saw you were live and I just wanted to let you know that he said if his uncle will join in with him, he will do it. But if not, he's terrified a little bit to, as he says, get completely demolished in front of thousands of people.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Well, you have a good rest of your day, Joey.
You too.
All right, guys. Hop in that queue if you're an American adult that supports Trump as president. We'll get you up here. Let's try to get that next guest connected right now. In the meantime, very quickly, SM, thank you for the $20 super chat saying, Dean, as a 55-year-old Gen X attorney, I just wanted to say keep it a good fight. I appreciate what you're doing and your level of patience and attempting to educate the folks is beyond impressive. Thank you, SM. Show some love to SM. It's also really cool that you're an attorney. You know, I wanted to be an attorney for so long. Maybe one day. I don't know. What's up? Do you support Trump? Hello?
I did vote for Trump, but I needed a little education. Hello?
Do you still support him today?
I'm a little on the fence about that, so I was looking to get maybe educated. I just kind of voted Republican just because that's always what I voted. So
can I be honest?
It's kind of a bad choice, honestly. But
I would say that the most value you could find in like education on the stream would be to watch it. Like seriously, like falling in the middle, sitting on the fence, and wanting to get politically educated is the prime position for a viewer of mine to be in for like the most effect of the content. You know, so like the debates in of themselves, they're supposed to be with Trump supporters that believe they have good arguments to support them, right? And when I'm telling them why they're not good arguments, I'm not only trying to prove them wrong to educate them, but also to educate you. You know what I mean? So if you're looking for more education, first of all, I think that's awesome. And second of all, just hang out with us, you know? While you're like doing your chores, doing your work, you know, throw the earbuds in and, you know, hang out for like an hour or so. You'll learn about a billion things that you didn't know before. And I wish the best of luck to you, my friend. Hey, Elizabeth, thank you so much for the $10 over at Venmo. I appreciate that. And then
Thank
Anna
you
with
so
the
much
$10
for-
on PayPal saying, stop manipulating me, Dean. I'm sorry. I'll stop manipulating you. And then Rin, thank you so much for the $15 on PayPal saying the way that you handle the debates with Trump supporters really helps a lot of people. Thank you, Rin. And then let's see here. Natalie, thank you for the 10, and Diana with a 5, and Jacob with the 10 as well. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Oh, hey, we talked the other day, but I got reported for, we were talking about the vax, and I had said
I remember you. Yeah, you were like anti-vax. You got taken down for misinformation.
it wasn't misinformation because you looked it up and it said that they were
Oh yeah,
there.
the misinformation part of it was that you said it was harmful. You literally got
Well,
banned off
well,
of TikTok for
it's-
misinfo.
Well, if you look it up, that does actually cause blood cancer.
Yeah, but not at like lower doses that is deemed as safe by the CDC.
So the reason I say that is because like with a newborn baby, like if you give a newborn baby any type of medicine, it's like usually like when you look at it, it's literally like such a small amount. So like even though it is a small amount, it's something like I just feel like it should be looked into and like changed.
Do you know the FDRUG?
Wait, could you say that again?
FENT. Think about what I'm saying here. FENT.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Can we agree that that is like one of the most deadly DRUGS ever?
Oh, of course.
Did you know in like really small amounts, it's actually really safe and even used very commonly inside of ERs?
Yeah, I know. I believe it's
Right.
there is some in the epidural as well.
Right. Like when regulated in incredibly small doses, it's safe. Right. And that's one of the most
Right.
deadly DRUGS on planet Earth when it is in large doses. So even if we agree,
Right, and
I
I-
forget what we were talking about yesterday that's in the vaccines. At larger doses, I could agree it's not safe for human consumption. It can increase your risk of blood cancer. But in smaller doses, such as what are present in vaccines, it is completely safe.
Yeah, we were talking about the thing that they use for like embalming. I'm not gonna say the actual starts with an F. as
But do you have
well.
any other reasons why you support Trump as president? Because I don't really want to talk about that again. I mean, it literally got you banned last time.
Yeah, you're right. Because honestly, that is exactly why I voted for him. Because I supported RFK like health wise.
No other reasons?
I mean, I hear you talk a lot about.
Sorry, Haley, I kicked you. I guess I don't really know why I did that. Because I feel like you were about to give us another reason why you support Trump. If you do have any other reasons, feel free to hop back in that queue. What's up, Riley? Do you support Trump as president? Riley's not here. All right, guys, we are still looking for a singular Trump supporter to come up here and debate us on why they're MAGA. Right now, we have over 15,000 people hanging out with us in the live, but not one person to come up here and debate. What's up, RJ? You support Trump? RJ's not here. I saw somebody in the comment section say I need to block this guy. Cope. Sure, you could block me, but that won't stop what's coming, buddy. Progressivism is the heat, is the rave, is the momentum. We're coming for the country, my friend. What's up? Do you support Trump? Dre's not here. Moving on to the next guest. Come on, guys. We're seriously just looking for a Trump supporter. Holy cow. Hey, Leah, thank you for the $20 on Super Chat saying thank you for all that you do, Dean. Well, thank you for your kindness, Leah, and I really hope that you're enjoying the stream. As well as Laura, thank you for the $25 on Venmo, and Sammy with a 20. Thank you both. Sammy with the $20 says, haven't been able to watch your lives lately, but I am today. Really good timing. Fuck yes, I'm Sammy. Let's go. Appreciate you for being here. Good to see you again. And then Laura says, please emotionally manipulate me. I'm joining the emotional manipulation bandwagon. Dude, the guy that said that, Liam, he's back in the queue, bro. He wants me so bad, bro. He wants me so bad. I appreciate both of you. Thank you, Sammy and Laura. As well as Michelle, thank you for the $15. Saying, Dean, when your political debates become less necessary, would you consider debates regarding patriarchy / misogyny? We need you, Dean. Dude, I debated feminism forever. The reason why I stopped on TikTok is because it gets me banned when I talk about it, unfortunately. What's up? Do you support Trump? Okay. All right, guys, come on. Go on and put a me with your age in that comment section if you're a Trump supporter that wants to come up. Like, MAGA is extinct. Sorry. Like, this is unreal. Lindsay with the $10. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. What's up? Do you support Trump? MAGA is extinct. Bro, where did they all go, man? They're gone. They're all gone. All the Trump supporters are gone. Did we convert everyone? Did we win over the world? I think we won over the world, guys. I've successfully changed every person ever's mind. Hey, what's up? You said, oh, nope, Amelia left already. Unreal. We got Austin loading up. We win. We win. MAGA is gone. What's up? Do you support Trump? Nope. Nope, he's gone too. We win. MAGA is extinct, everybody. There's not a single Trump supporter left in this live. Just kidding. There's probably a couple thousand of them, but they're all too scared to join because they're spineless and they know that they're wrong and they know that they can. They couldn't win a debate against me. That's a fact, you guys. It is a fact. It is. And if you are an American adult that supports Trump as president, speak the hell up. Hop in that queue. We'll have a conversation. See, I'm the one that wants to hold genuine dialogue, and you're the one that's running away. So, yeah. All right. By the way, like I said, if you like what we do here and you want to support me, you could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. I get 100% of the proceeds over on those platforms. They go straight to me, and you get a notification at the top of this phone where I could read off your name and any and all attached messages to show you.
Oh, hello?
Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump? What's up?
Yeah, to an extent. I would like to explain something though before I get into it.
How old are you?
I am 22.
Okay, when you say to an extent, knowing everything that you do now, who do you vote for? If you were teleported back to November, who do you vote for?
Respectfully, probably Trump. Although, if John F. Kennedy Jr. had gone and won against Trump, I probably would have voted for him instead.
Okay, well then you're fit for the conversation. Why do you support Trump as president?
I think I vote for him because of a little bit of security, because he's previously been the president. And I think that's why a lot of other people have, at least from a psychological perspective, kind of voted for him.
What? Wait.
I said...
Wait. So you're saying that the only reason he was a better candidate in November and would still be a better president than Kamala Harris today is because he already served a first term?
I think that's why a lot of other people voted. There's a little bit, like, think about it.
About other people, I asked about you. I'm asking why you support Donald Trump as president today.
So why I did it, that's a part of it. But then another part is that as I was watching both sides, because I consider myself an active neutralist, how that works is that I prefer to be in the middle, but, I have my side preference. If that makes sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. Just what is one good... How about this? Let me find out another way to ask the question. What is one good thing that Donald Trump has done as president that makes you support him?
That's actually... Okay, so can I explain this? Because I am more of a neutralist than anything else. I'm having a harder time finding, on my feed at least, specifically, because that's where I get most of my news. A lot of the Republican half sides, although I think that somewhere in my feed it's being drowned out by the Democrat.
All right, man, I hope you have a good rest of your day. I didn't kick you out of any disrespect for yourself. But whatever you said was just so far off base of an answer to my question that I just thought a debate with you would be nearly impossible if that trend were to continue. So I did kick you. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. What's up? Do you support Trump?
No, I don't support Trump, but my mother here does.
Put her on.
Alright.
Hello, I'm on.
Can you hear her?
Is she over the phone?
Yeah, I couldn't get to her in person.
If there comes a day where you can get to her in person, feel free to request. If there comes a day where you can get to her in person, feel free to request. It's just the delay of the live stream to your phone, then from your phone to the other phone that she's talking to you over, be a little bit too much. What's up? Do you support Trump? Okay, I'll take that as... Oh, they left. I was going to take that as a yes, but looks like they left. Moving on to the next guest, we got Eddie G loading up in. Hey, Amanda, I appreciate you for the $10 over on Venmo, saying your friendly neighborhood pathology instructor here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Finally being able to tune in again. Does this guest know that it wasn't... that it was RFK Jr., not JFK Jr.? Yeah, he probably just misspoke. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let me thank one more person here. Caitlin, thank you for the $15. Saying, Dean, I grew up with a conservative family. I love listening to your debates and using information that you share in your podcast to educate my family. Keep on doing what you're doing. Caitlin, let me know if you ever get around to them. And if you do ever get around to them, you should share with me what specifically did it. You know what I mean? I'd be very interested. Thank you so much for the love, Caitlin. Yeah, I could hear you, man. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Okay, so I actually talked to you, I want to say over 2 weeks ago, and it's perfect that you said what you said in the live, because I encourage any of the Trump supporters to do what I did, talk to Dean, and then hear the live before you come back, and so you can do some research. But so far, you've piqued my interest a little bit. I'm leaning towards.
Did we debate 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, we debated about 2 weeks ago, but I have just one view on a reason why I still support him. So I wanted to get your interest and get the truth from what you think.
Yeah, I typically only debate people once, but it's like for the last hour, we haven't been able to find any Trump supporters. So what's this one view?
So this one view is, the one thing I've been struggling is border policies, specifically more immigration. And because of immigrations, I know that immigrants import, because I'm from a family of immigrants as well, right? So I know that they support a lot, and a lot of them don't get Medi-Cal. They don't get a lot of government assistance that they pay into. But my thesis and the research that I've been searching so far is the effects of immigration too, when it comes to mass immigration, where a lot of people do kind of influx how they have in the past 4 years. That also creates more of a demand, like more demand in rent, more demand in housing. There's less stuff on the shelves. There could be a negative impact to that as well.
So you're just saying, like, with an increase in population, then we'd expect like an increase in demand for things in the economy. Well, we would, right? But you're just not factoring in for the increased productivity on the supply side of the economy due to the fact that we have more laborers. And when we factor in for those things, right, we actually like can reasonably conclude that undocumented immigrants, for instance, drive the pricing of housing down, since they're more likely to participate in the supply side of housing. 1 out of every 7 construction workers is an undocumented immigrant, according to the American Immigration Council. Meanwhile, they're less likely to participate in the demand side of the housing market because a lot of banks won't give them a loan because they don't have a social security number, and many renters of properties will not rent to them because they aren't a legal citizen or resident.
Okay. I live in California, so it's a little bit easier, so I might have a biased opinion on the renting and buying, just because I have family members don't have any social security numbers. ITNs are still purchasing houses. I'm not too sure how it is in other states, but in California so far, it's been almost equal. I think recently, as of a year ago, they were trying to pass a loan opportunity for illegal immigrants to get houses. It was like a 20% deposit, and they got a lower interest rate, but it got shut down in California. What are your opinions on that?
Well, you just didn't respond to the argument. So it is a fact that lenders are less likely to approve loans for undocumented immigrants.
Yes, that is true, because you need Social Security. You need a way to. At the end of the day, they're there to collect money, hoping that you.
Yeah, like very few lenders offer loans on ITINs. Most traditional lenders do not offer loans to undocumented immigrants. And considering that, it makes it clear why undocumented immigrants would have would pull the pricing of housing down, since they're less likely to participate in the demand side. It's not as easy for them to buy it, many more barriers to purchase, and they're more likely to participate in the supply side, since they're more likely to build houses as construction workers. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so all my thoughts on the influx in helping, it's like a balance. I do see that. I agree with what you just said. Most of them are construction workers. They all help out because a lot of them are my family members too. The only thing that I have to say is some of my family have came in. I'm not trying to pivot.
Well, I don't want you to pivot, right?
Okay.
The very specific point that I want you to respond to is that the price of a good is determined via the equilibrium of supply and demand, right? Right? And they're less likely to participate in demand, but they're more likely to participate in supply, which would drag the equilibrium price of a house down due to that fact. That's my argument. That's what I want you to respond to.
That is true. So there's more people contributing to the housing market, more workers. There's going to be more of a supply, less people actually buying houses. But what about the renter side of it? What about people purchasing houses to rent them to undocumented immigrants?
It's the same deal. I mean, there's still more barriers for undocumented immigrants on like the renting side of things, since like individuals that own properties would be less likely to rent them to an undocumented immigrant compared to legal resident or citizen. Same thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's ways around that, and in my area,
yes, there is ways around that. You can live in a house if you're an undocumented immigrant. That's not what I'm saying. All that I'm saying is that there's more barriers to renting, meaning that they'd be less likely to actively participate in renting per capita compared to citizens. That's all that I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I see that. There is the thing though that in my point of view on this one, that I've seen a lot of family members that do end up having socials, like people born here, they turn 18 and they have social security numbers. Now they rent to themselves. They get a house to rent, and what ends up happening is a lot of
okay, but that doesn't change that there's still more barriers to renting, right? Because now you're having to describe, right, like a roundabout way for an undocumented immigrant to rent to property, which would include having family that are like citizens. That is still more difficult it's still a more difficult process with more boundaries than citizens in renting, right? Meaning that they're still less likely to participate in that demand side, right? So you get the point.
I get your point on that one, and it's just
perfect. I appreciate that, Eddie. I did just want to go over one point with you because, like you said, we already debated 2 weeks ago. So I am going to move on to the next guest, but I hope you have a good rest of your day, bro. And I'm happy that you inevitably got that point. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest right now. Hop in that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. We got Nick loading up. I'd also like to thank Azriel. Thank you so much for the $100 super chat on YouTube. Thank you so much, Azriel. Thank you so much for the love. Azriel with a $100 says, thank you for what you do, Dean. I find education to be incredibly important. I feel like it is a dark time in history for that, but your channel gives me a lot of hope. I and other fellow members of the Oneida tribe will be going to our local No Kings 2.0 day protests on October 18th. Much love, bro. Hell yeah, Azriel, you should show up. Everyone you know should show up. Everyone watching the stream should show up to your local No Kings protests. I know I will be, and you should too.